Okay. Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
What are you doing?
I'm just switching to the intro.
Okay. Don't forget, do most of your talking switch between full screen and live.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to start doing that because then you have more of you on the screen and less of just shit on the screen.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So do your intro off that screen between videos and stuff, switch over, and then go back and forth, okay?
Okay.
Because that gets you used to also using those number keys.
Right. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube and Twitch channels. I'm here, and I have a lot of things open to share with you today. Because there wasn't a question period on Friday, so it's all online degeneracy and like silliness. I think I have one Code Blue Cam video, but it's all what's it called? It's all the all the fun that I've missed while covering Canadian politics. And then tomorrow morning we're going to be back covering question period. Tomorrow's going to be a super busy day for streaming. I am going to be doing 3 streams tomorrow. We are going to have the coffee stream at the usual time. Then we're going to be covering the budget announcement that is happening at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then the combat hour and Ermac drops tomorrow. So that's going to be, I'll probably be cheating and checking some Ermac stuff out in the lab before I go live on the combat hour, but it will be me seeing what Ermac is about and testing him out. So the hair is looking nice. It's I need to trim it. I've still got some damage from the bleaching I did over the summer, so I need to trim the damaged parts off. And then I will be trying to grow it out again after I get one more cut to just get the dried dead ends off. I'm gonna try to regrow it to shoulder length again and see how that works. So that'll be interesting. I'm trying to figure out, I need to find myself like a footstool or something to put under my desk because my hip is so bad. It's like, it feels like there's like a spike of bone driving into me all the time. But apparently, according to the pain doctor I saw, I have a sprained joint. A sprained SI joint. I don't know how you can sprain a joint. I know you can dislocate a joint, but I've never heard of a joint being sprained. I've heard of muscles and ligaments being sprained. And oh yeah, I thought you'd enjoy the title, TJ. Because we've got nothing but internet ingrates tonight, so I figured that would be an appropriate title. But yeah, this doctor was like, yeah, you sprained your joint, and I can cure it with a steroid injection. And I'm like, no, 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 no steroid injections. And as soon as I said no steroid injections, he was just like, oh, well, you must want to be in pain then. Like, that's how he was treating me. It was ridiculous. So, but the pain has gotten worse over the past, like, 2 or 3 months. The pain has gotten steadily worse. And, it's bad. Damn, that's a long healing place too. Oh, the SI. Doctor noun definition guesswork in a white coat. Well, and the thing is he didn't want to send me, like, he sent me for x-rays, but he didn't, like, he was like, your x-rays are clear. They showed no damage anywhere. And I'm like, okay, well, what about, like, a deep tissue scan? And he's like, well, I don't really go by imaging anyway. And I'm like, okay. Except to give steroid injections, because that's x-ray guided. But other than that, he doesn't rely on imaging. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back here. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it.
Ad reaction. WR Costin. Hey, button.
Costin!
WR Costin. HRY. Button. TJ's Collectibles. Doctor. Ad reaction.
What's up, Costin?
Pulse X. Live clip. Set close. Almap 2. Open reaction.
What's up?
Chat message input. Chat. Ellipsis.
So yeah, I'm trying to find a comfortable place to, like, elevate my feet because it hurts slightly less when I do that. So I need, like, a footstool or something to rest my feet. But I'll figure that out. Okay. So we've got a lot of shit to go through. And our first installment, as it were, is about the censorship on Reddit. And we all know that the censorship on Reddit exists. And it's stupid. Freaking Pinkalo's had shit pulled down. A claim that it's, like, told that it's not. He's been told that his art isn't his. He pulled it, like, have it pulled down, and it's been exploitative. It's ridiculous. So use a foam wedge. Yeah, that might work. Ottoman, yeah. I need to find, like, a foam wedge or something next time I go to the dollar store. Or even like a step stool to put. And then I could put, like, a towel down on the step stool even. Cause that would help. Alright. Let's learn about the Reddit censorship, shall we?
Reddit and the censorship? Wait, what? The cancer of censorship. Reddit and the censorship? Wait, what? The cancer of censorship.
Alright, Az, tell us.
This is interesting. Okay, let me go ahead and look at this. The cancer of censorship. How Reddit itself is set up to become one of the most heavily censored social media platforms, and how it may be destroying itself because of it.
What? Okay, I didn't know it was that bad. I knew that there was some censorship there. Hey, Scribbles! Scribbles, hello! But yeah, like, I knew, as I just said, Pinkalo's had issues with the censorship. I didn't know it was that bad.
Moderating is a time-consuming, thankless job. Well, it's not a thankless job because people actively hate you for it. So it's the opposite of thankless would be a good thing, an improvement. Instead of hiring in-house mods or relying primarily on algorithmic moderation, Reddit relies on an army of 70,000 heroes to do this heavy lifting.
70,000?
Volunteers were chosen because of algorithmic moderation struggles where each subreddit has its own rules, but there are unforeseen side effects. For many moderators, the power associated with being a mod is an afterthought, but for some, that power is their compensation.
Yeah, there are some fucking power-hungry mods. Like, I had a video pulled down in a Mortal Kombat, in the Mortal Kombat subreddit, because I was making fun of Six Hurricane. So I don't know. I don't know, like, there are some moderators that just have this weird power trip. Some of the disabled nudes moderators are fucking, like, some of them, they'll take down posts, even ones that say totally blind, because, like, I guess I don't look disabled. I don't know, like, it's weird. I have to fight with them. I'm verified. But most of the mods there are good, but there are some new mods every now and then that they're like, no, you're not blind. Yes, I am.
They want to moderate because it gives them a pathway to a position of authority over others.
Facts.
This Reddit user, so what's this here? 5 people control 92 of the top 500 subs.
What the fuck?
And then he just got banned on everything.
What?
User, so what's this here? 5 people control 92 of the top 500 subs. And then he just got banned on everything.
Wait.
The moment that you see through the matrix, they try to shut you down.
So wait, this user pointed out that there were only 5 people that controlled nearly 100 of the top 500 subreddits, and he got banned from everything for pointing that at, like, every subreddit for pointing that out? The fuck? What the fuck?
Spittle buggies. I was banned from Reddit and never had an account with them. There's issues with them, but
You were banned from Reddit and you didn't even have an account? So you were just a guest user, I guess. Just a browser, and you got banned from, what the fuck?
This is like
that is crazy.
It's like the internet janitor Illuminati. You know, this is kind of funny. Holy shit. They're proving I'm right. Yeah, I guess so. And considering what kind of person would opt to spend 12 hours a day doing the dirty work of a social media company all for free, this appeals to people who crave power with a lot of time on their hands.
Yep.
Enter power mods. These are the ones that have, like, moderator in, like, 50 different places.
The people that...
And we saw this video before.
The people that are... Yeah, the power mods. The people that, for some reason, like, I think I'm terminally online. No, these people would be like, blind press, hold my beer. Fuck. They'd be like, you still go outside and take walks. You still turn off your computer at night when you go to bed. You go to bed in a separate room from your computer even. You're not terminally online. You silly person. You still take your kids to the park. I don't go outside at all. That's what these people just sit and they scroll through all of the places they have mod power, and they're just waiting for somebody to fuck up. And it's not even a big fuck up. It could be like the tiniest thing, and they'll be like, "Aha! I gotcha."
Again,
these are the assholes.
It takes a special kind of person to make this guy not.
These are the type of people that when we were in school, they were hall monitors. Okay? And they were the hall monitors that, like, they weren't even the cool hall monitor that you could make friends with and get away with some shit. No, these hall monitors were like, "Oh, your hall pass has a tiny bend in it. It's invalid, and I'm going to rat you out to the teacher." Like, that's what these people are.
Not look like an idiot, but he managed to do it. He did. It's impressive. Yeah, you don't see that every day. We'll stress this. Power mods often subscribe to the bleeding edge of progressive rhetoric, and they can be frequently found using their power to erasure users to conform to the latest left-leaning talking points.
Crazy.
Why is it borderline impossible to discuss trans as a topic? This post has been removed. Okay. Power mods, commonly seen pinning their own posts and comments to the top of subreddits and comment sections. The goal is simple: to keep the unwashed masses in line and drive the narrative forward by any means necessary.
And also to earn more karma. Don't forget that. You can't not mention the karma. Is these people live off of that shit. I swear to God.
If you are still a genocidal hate group that needs to be in law custody, wait, what? What the hell? Oh my God. Okay. Oftentimes these moderators will lock down entire threads because of the questions posed.
Certain
make
devices won't even let you review
issues in a
threads.
different manner,
wow.
and may question the very nature of.
That's ridiculous, Spittlebuggies. That is crazy. I had to. There's a thing. I don't know if you have this. If you have to turn this off. I don't know if you have Apple or not. But I had to have Pinkalo find the setting in my phone for Apple, because Apple now has this like detect naughty images or whatever, and it wouldn't let me go into 18 plus Reddit threads, of which my own Reddit thread is a fucking 18 plus thread, right? So it's like they're just like, you gotta protect,
the issues themselves.
Gotta censor.
Why is the majority of non-binary people white females? The science is not on this one, unanswerable, unlocked. Giving it mods and Reddit as a whole, so ideologically captured. You'll see them using their power simultaneously to promote misinformation and suppress the truth.
Yep.
This post is unapproved. Armed man arrested outside Brett Kavanaugh's home after threatening Supreme Court justice. Okay.
This post is unapproved.
I don't think this is Reddit moderators' halt discussion about Nicholas Roske, a man who is influenced on Reddit. Where still the moderators turn a blind eye to inflammatory rhetoric if it happens to align with the narrative. Often you can find Reddit salivating at the thought of murdering someone, but otherwise ban-happy mods turn a blind eye and whenever the hatred is directed towards Republicans and Trump.
That's also true. And there are some, like, even in the Canadian Reddit threads, like r/Ontario, for instance, is so full of just insane left-leaning, like, fuck all landlords are evil corporations, like, fuck the police, like, all it's crazy.
I think this part is absolutely true. This is completely true. And this is the first actual problem, by the way. All the other stuff is like, you know, this is something that the free market of ideas can solve. If you don't like these subreddits and how they're designed, just make your own. But this actually is, like, this is a big issue. Comment with 159 upvotes. Defending Herman Cain Award.
If you want to submit
is Herman
anything
Cain Award something for whenever? Is this like a
cover?
This is probably a subreddit that celebrates whenever Republicans die.
Holy shit!
Like,
seriously?
I'm just kind of assuming that.
An actual
big surprise.
That's
and so
fucking disturbing.
Out of COVID. I mean, look, I don't like. It's just how it is. Some subreddits have even begun mass banning thousands of users who ever even participated in right-leaning subreddits such as r/conservative. This further factionalizes Reddit.
r/conservative is right-leaning. Okay, I guess if there are a lot of center-right conservatives, though, they're not like alt-right. Okay.
Popular subreddits like Justice Served have lost thousands of active users because of the mass banning campaigns. Why doesn't Reddit do something about this? Because Reddit mods do an estimated $34 million of labor for free every single year. Has anyone noticed that Reddit is a bit dead nowadays? Social media sites thrive on free speech. I think this is absolutely true. The moment that people can't talk about ideas and they can't have like real conversations.
Reddit managed to get a whole bunch of power-hungry Gen Zers to mod their shit for free and do $34 million a year worth of free labor. Dumb fucks. Dumb fucks.
This is the moment that everything basically falls apart.
Shit.
Because like you're no longer getting, like, that's why Threads never popped off. It's why Blue Sky or Mastodon never pops off, because nobody wants to join a social media network whenever its main selling point is censorship.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what an insane thing to even try to promote. How can you possibly think this is a good idea? But here they
Why
are,
do you
they're
think
doing
Elon
it, and
Musk
it's completely
buying
failing.
Twitter
and I
was
think
such
this
a
is
big
definitely
deal?
true too.
'Cause
Is
he
that
was
a lot
like,
of
"I'm
Reddit
gonna not
communities
allow
have died over
censorship,"
the years
but now
because
he
of continuous,
still does.
like, you know, like whenever you have like a, you know, you drop a marble in a sink, and you know the whole idea of like circling the drain, and like the faster it gets to the bottom and like falling out, is the faster it moves. And I think this is kind of what happens, is like it's very slow at first, and then the extremism accelerates itself, which then accelerates itself. And eventually you have a place where only one type of ideology is acceptable, and every other group of thinking is basically subject to murder. And so, which is, you know, again, the posts like this, right? I mean, you could say this is an exaggeration, but it's
not
clearly
really,
not.
though. It's not. And we're scarily getting closer and closer, more so in the US, I think, because I'm seeing more and more people on social media. Like, if I go open my TikTok page right now, my For You page, not my following page, but my For You page, I will see so many anti-Trudeau videos from, like, excuse me, from people who are normally very progressive, but they just want to be able to afford to live. And they have noticed, because they have eyes and a brain, that since Trudeau took office, they haven't been able to afford to live. So they're not very happy with him anymore, and they're voicing their unhappiness. And I'm starting to notice, like, outside of Reddit, right? If you look at r/Canada and r/Ontario, you wouldn't think so. But if you go outside of Reddit to X or TikTok or YouTube, you will see quite a lot of Canadians voicing their displeasure, and because they're able to, right? They're able to do so without a power-hungry Zoomer mod coming in and going, "I don't like that because that's mean," and banning, like, I don't agree, post not approved. So I think that is very true.
Social media sites thrive on free speech. This is the inevitable result. Oh yeah, this was about that one. Some person drew something that looked like AI art, and then the person deleted it and said that it wasn't AI art. I mean, this is just, again, people will not be able to tell if something is AI art, like, very soon.
That's terrifying to me. That that because of the vast amount of images online, and Pinkalo pointed out to me the like, because there's a commercial on one of the streaming services that we're using to watch a show, where Apple is boasting with the iPhone 15 that you'll never need to delete your photos again, because the phone will have so much storage. And Pinkalo pointed out to me, he's like, you know why they want you to keep your photos, right? And I thought for a minute, and I went, for AI. And he goes, yep, exactly. They need, the more images they have, the better the AI will be. And the amount of people that post literally everything they do to Snapchat and Instagram and everything, like, AI is going to be able to take all of those images and figure out how to make a picture look like somebody took that picture. And I feel really bad for people whose passion is photography, like Pinkalo, because they're fighting against fucking AI when all they want to do is just take nice pictures and share the nice pictures with people.
Like, I think this idea of like trying to detect AI art is stupid. A moderator of AI art deletes a user's post. Okay. So this guy, this thread brings up a lot of really great points, and I think that they're basically right about everything, but they're not right about how to solve the problem. So the reason why they're not accurate about that is because a lot of the people who are participating in these subreddits have every right and every tool to make their own communities that are antithetical to what the existing Reddit groups are.
True.
So, for example, if you don't like the way that a certain subreddit is being run, you have every ability and every right to be able to create your own space and move other people over to that based off of how the free market of ideas decides that your ideas are valuable and worth pursuing.
That's true. You can very easily set up your own subreddit. Like I have two. I have r/blind not broken, and I have r/blind press. And so like I can, and they're both NSF, like they're 18 plus. So I can post what I want in there, and I don't have to worry about some asshole coming in and going, "That's not me, that's exploitative. That's not a blind person." Like I don't have to deal with that. So
really, I don't want to see anybody crying to Daddy Reddit of like banning these power mods. No, these power mods are simply these
power mods are stupid.
Freedom of speech. Because the problem is that
these power mods are dumb because they're doing millions of dollars of work for free.
Speech and freedom of expression does actually create echo chambers, and it does create like a censorship. And the way it does it is actually not through freedom of expression or freedom of speech, but it's by freedom of association. So what ends up happening is that people who think the same thing as each other all get together, and then they agree that in their space you can only say and do these certain things, which I think is okay. Because the reason why that's okay is because nobody else is forced to be in that space at all. They ban every sub they don't agree with. Yeah. And so that's the way these things happen. And the way I think Reddit should handle this is that I think they should probably try to promote more subreddits that are not part of the top 500 and have a different type of algorithm that weights posts differently based off of how many active users are in the posts versus how many updates the post gets.
But at the same time, Reddit would probably be more incentivized to get people to go to the top 500 subs.
So like, for example, a post that has 10,000 active users and it gets 1,000 upvotes is not as impressive as a place that has, 1,000 users and gets 1,000 upvotes. You see what I'm saying? So like, they need to have an algorithm that rewards emerging communities, because really the problem with this is that a lot of the subreddits that are popular now, like if you just go and you look at this, I'm going to open up Reddit on a completely incognito window, okay? Oh my god.
See, this is why I watch things like this and react to them, because there are certain things that with voiceover I do not know how to do, or I do not have the capability of doing. Like doing this incognito stuff. I don't know how to do that. And I don't like that. I don't know how to do at all. And it's easy to watch somebody do that and put in my own 2 cents. Also, Asmongold, Destiny, stuff like that, they are able to find things like screenshots that I'm not capable of reading with my screen reader, and they will usually read them out loud. And that is beneficial to me, and so they are able to find information that I am not able to. So I try to disseminate that information and also provide my own take on what I'm learning at the same time. I should have brought
So
water.
a lot of these subreddits have been around for years. Like Facepalm, mildly infuriating, interesting as fuck, me IRL. Like all of these have been around for such a long time. Well,
they're old
they
guard.
have basically a hegemony on the Reddit culture. And the reason why that hegemony exists is because Reddit rewards big subs by giving them more promotion. So what needs to happen is that Reddit needs to change the way that they do their algorithm and make it to where smaller subreddits get promoted on the front page more often.
But is
You
Reddit...
see what my point is? I got permabanned from WoW Reddit for
Is Reddit going to be... Like, what incentive does Reddit have to do that, though?
calling paladins a wheelchair class. Now that's funny. Yeah, that's stupid, but the truth is that if enough people don't like their behavior, you can always go and make your own subreddit for World of Warcraft, and then nobody has an obligation to go on the official WoW subreddit.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody has to do that. Now that Reddit's publicly traded, I'm sure there'll be quite a few changes, especially considering monetization.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Right? Like, there's a r/fighters community, right? For fighting game players. I don't necessarily have to post there. I could create a blind fighting... You know what? I wonder if there is an r/BFGC. I should look. And if there isn't, I should ask in the blind Discord, in the BFGC Discord, if anyone wants one created.
I don't think they're really going to change anything, because the truth is that the way that the moderators moderate Reddit is in a way that advertisers like. Because advertisers like, and this isn't like a base anti-SJW thing. I think this is just like very obvious that a lot of advertising is much more sympathetic to left-leaning ideas versus right-leaning ideas. So whenever you have a bunch of hyper-leftist moderators that are removing anybody who's going to say anything that's conservative or that could be,
or that's true,
like negative about trans
we don't
people or
like
something like
the
that,
truth.
this works
Make
in Reddit's
the truth
best interest,
go away.
because Reddit's best interest is maintaining these advertisers, and advertisers care about it. And that's the way that they look at it. I wonder why? Well, there's like 50 different reasons why. It's not important to know why. It's important to know that it's happening, though.
Yes.
So,
and it's
I
important,
think that's the result.
It's important to remember that we still have the ability to push back against this. We still have the free market of ideas. We like to say that our government is acting communist and whatever, but the thing is we still have the ability to speak freely. We have the ability to create spaces where we can speak freely. We have the ability of free thought and free association, right? You don't have that in North Korea, okay? You don't have that in China. You just don't. And as much as some of our governments like to push incredibly communist ideas, we are still out here in the West, thankfully, actually free of communism. Now, and it's important that those of us that see this nonsense that's going on point it out and push back against it and talk about it, because the minute we just go, oh, I guess that's the way it is now, then we will become that communist thing that we fear, because complacency is what's that quote, the most evil good men can do is to do nothing. That's I believe the quote.
Result of this. So if people don't like this, and why did this happen? So the reason why this happened, there's like a lot of different reasons. Okay, so if you go back to like, there was an entire, it was like, there was not one racist subreddit there was like 50 of them or like 100 of them. And the biggest one was Raccoon Town, except without the rack.
Fuck?
This was the biggest subreddit.
Are you serious? Holy shit balls. Wow, okay.
And it was all about racist shit. People were talking bad shit, and they had this for years
That is
and years.
Messed up.
I remember that, yes. There were a lot of these subreddits. There was like 50
Wow.
of them, and they were like very creative with coming up with new names that were like, you know, a different type of racism.
I had
and
no
the funny
idea
thing about what
this.
happened was that there was also another subreddit called Fat People Hate.
That one I knew about. I never saw it, but I heard about
And
that one.
Fat People Hate got banned before the racist subreddits did.
What the fuck?
Why is that?
Seriously?
Well, it's probably because the moderators were fat and not black. But that's what happened. And this was back in 2012, 2013.
Gotta
or something
love
like that.
the old
no
days
way.
of the
Oh yeah,
internet.
so I was there 3,000 years ago. And this is I don't just remember WoW things, I remember everything. And so this is what happened. And then this became a massive big thing. And then they started banning subreddits based off of this. Then after that, there was a CEO that took over who effectively was just a fall guy. And her name was Ellen Pao. And then a bunch of other subreddits came out that were basically like kill Ellen Pao, like punch Ellen Pao, and they were just like crazy, like just deranged subreddits.
What the fuck? What is wrong with people on Reddit? Like, what? Why? I don't understand this. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, do they think that because they're behind a keyboard that they can just, like, I'm typing it, it's fine. I'm not, like, what the fuck?
And it completely dominated Reddit for a long time. Then, if you contextualize that about something that, like, I wasn't even really on Reddit that much at the time, but there was another Reddit, the r/jailbait.
I've heard of that one, too.
Well, that one was so bad. Yes, fuck that. Yes, that one was so bad that they even did news articles about it, and Reddit was forced to shut it down.
Yeah,
and,
no shit.
That's
Reddit
basically
was
what happened.
Forced to shut it down.
Yeah. So that one was huge. Yeah, it was like one of the most popular subreddits. It was crazy. And so then that got deleted. And then there were, of course, like revenge porn subreddits and other types of like degeneracy subreddits, etc. Right? Forced subreddits. Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between having a subreddit that has adult content on it and having shit like jailbait and revenge porn and like torture porn and shit like that. That's different. You don't need that shit on anywhere.
And so anyway, this happened for quite a while. And then after Ellen Powell, they basically had her come on, make a bunch of unpopular changes, and then they fired her. She was the CEO. But really, I mean, again, in a company, a CEO is like about 2 levels of like below the top, right? You have like you have the board, and then you have the executive chairman of the board. And if it's a publicly traded company, what's really the end all and be all is shareholder voting, right? And so like it's really 2 or 3 levels of removal from the actual top of the decision-making chain.
Right.
So then Ellen Pao took over, and they got rid of her. And then the 2016 election happened. Well, I guess like Gamergate was pretty big, but like Gamergate really wasn't that big. It was just like, oh my god, video games journalists are corrupt. Like, think about how many people really give a shit about that, right? So this is like 2014, 2015.
Less so
and then
than they do
2016
now.
comes around, and this is the big one, right? Because in 2016, you had Donald J. Trump, the big man himself.
The orange, evil, big, horrible man that will kill us all and single-handedly destroy the planet, apparently. I don't know how.
The current sitting president, because we all know Biden's actually just sitting at a Hollywood studio. It's not the real White House. And so anyway, our president, that's right. And so, which, by the way, a lot of people were unhappy because I made jokes about Trump during his rally yesterday. guess what? He's a funny guy. He does a lot of funny things.
He does.
I'll make jokes about Biden
does
after
a lot
that,
of
and then you
stupid
guys can
shit,
cry
too.
about that afterwards. So just keep in mind, Trump does some funny, stupid things, and it's okay to laugh at him. It doesn't mean that, I want America to get destroyed. Anyway, but he does stupid shit, right? I mean, God. And by the way, I
Old
looked up how
man
many
does
birds get
stupid
killed
shit?
by,
Holy
what do you
crap.
call it? By wind turbines. It's like it's like a infinitesimally smaller number than birds that get killed by walls and windows.
Or airplanes. I bet you the amount of birds that get killed by airplanes is more than wind turbines.
It's like a 200 to 1.
And other birds.
Like 300 to 1. It's not like cats. Yeah, one bird is too many, brother. Imagine if that was bald eagle. Huh? You still think it's okay? What are you, terrorist? Yeah, no, I know. Not the eagles, brother.
No,
it depends on the species.
Eagles.
Well, I mean, all I
The
did is I looked it up,
Eagles!
and I looked at the 2022 statistics, and that's clearly not what happened. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that, so the Donald, this was a really, really big subreddit, and it was a subreddit built all around the meme magic of Donald Trump. And
Well,
then
he is
after that
memeable.
took over,
He's
then
very
like
memeable.
4 other subreddits took over at the same time that were extensions of the Donald. And this happened, and obviously, they pushed Donald all the way up to the top. Every top post was about Donald Trump being Pepe the Frog or something like that. People were going, Trump hates as fuck.
Pepe.
Yeah.
I
Everybody was going
remember
apeshit about this.
Pepe.
Then after, the centipedes. Remember that?
That was
Yes,
so
totally fucked the
fucking long
centipedes.
ago.
Oh my god, I forgot all about the centipedes. Yes. Yes.
The centipedes. I don't know about
And then there were the
centipedes.
videos.
I don't
The
know
Nimble
about the
Navigator. There it is.
centipedes.
And people would constantly spam that whenever he was in the debates. So what happened after that is all of the people in Reddit hated this. Basically a lot of the people that were doing this were effectively tourists to Reddit. And after the election was over,
The Reddit people were like, why are these people coming here and memeing on us? They're ruining our site. We want the revenge porn and the jailbait back. Why is this all political memes? Ah!
a lot of those people left Reddit. Because the election's over, we won the war, it's over. Haha, meme magic is real, he's the president now, fuck you guys. And they're gone, they're finished, it's over. And so all of the people that stuck around were the people who were angry about it and were mad. And I think that's what originally started causing the massive schism that you see now on Reddit, with it being so one-dimensional. Is because if you look at it
that's a good
again,
point.
and this is, and it does matter, the fat people hate and everything else, because these are the different, and also, by the way, Reddit was criticized heavily by mainstream media for allowing these things to happen. So Reddit after that became much more okay with having subreddits get banned and having things be removed whenever they violated rules that were put in place to maintain advertising dollars.
Yeah.
So
because it's all about that sweet, sweet ad revenue.
Redditor became a slur. Yeah, permabans are annoying, right? This is all facts. It is. Reddit privated the subreddit in 2019 and shut it down a year later. Right. And so the Donald, Reddit, the Donald subreddit. So this is on Wikipedia, 2015, and then 2018, Steve Bannon's statements about Trump. Trump himself criticized Bannon's statements. Subreddit turned against Bannon, right? After Christchurch mosque shooting, that justified the shooting. Quarantine, right. And so this is in June 26, 2019. It got quarantined, quarantine is what happens to subreddits whenever Reddit doesn't want to ban them, but they're banning them.
What the fuck? Like it's a disease. Quarantine that subreddit now! Get rid of it!
So quarantine happened to a lot of the racism subreddits. It happened to like one of the Gamergate subreddits. It happened to the Donald. It happened to Ice Poseidon 2. It happened to... I feel like that's basically what it was, right? And I think there's a Red Pill subreddit. Yeah, all my favorite subs. Yeah, there you go. And so the subreddit was moderated to evade Reddit's imposed quarantine by reviving and promoting a subreddit called Mr. Trump. Yeah, so basically Reddit, and this is the company itself. The company itself shut down the subreddit. And the reason why they shut it down is because some people were saying that the Christchurch mosque shootings. So when did this happen? This happened, there was some piece of shit like 5 years ago, I guess it was 2019, that shot up a church Reddit, because, you know, it's just a piece of shit, right?
Therefore, he was going to shoot up the mosque because of Reddit. Some people were saying that this was a good thing on that subreddit. Yes.
And, you know, this again also was like in 2019 where a lot of public opinion had turned against Trump and people had, you know, I guess, let me see, what's the time frame here? November 2019. Yeah, February 2020. This is like at the start of COVID. And finally, in the middle of COVID, June 29th, 2020, they banned the subreddit because that's whenever, obviously, you know, things were at like the most heightened thing. It was a mosque, church. Excuse me. Well, like it was,
no, it was
you know,
a mosque.
You see what I'm saying, right? But
it's the same thing.
It was at a mosque. Yeah, but you're right. You're right. I was inaccurate.
A mosque, a church, a temple, they're all places of worship, yes?
And so...
same thing.
Anyway, all of this stuff happened, and if I remember right, Donald Trump even did an AMA on this subreddit.
Oh, really?
He actually did an AMA on the fucking subreddit. Yeah, he did. And so this was a really, really big deal.
That's cool.
So Reddit actually removed all of these people themselves. Now, why did Reddit remove the Donald? It's a 5-letter word. Does anybody know what it is?
5-letter word. Idea? No. No, it can't be idea. I don't know.
Starts with an M, ends with a Y.
Starts with an M, ends with a Y, 5-letter word. I'm really trying to think here. What the fuck word could... 5-letter word, starts with an M, ends with a Y. Reason why they banned the Donald. I don't know. I'm gonna hit myself in the head when I hear it.
Money.
Fuck! God damn it! See? I told you I was gonna hit myself.
They only care about money. They don't care about any of these things. They had no problem letting an entire empire of racist subreddits run wild for the better part of 10 years.
Dollars, man.
And the only time they got rid of it, they didn't have a problem seeing pictures of underage girls get posted.
Nope.
The only time that got removed was whenever they started paying attention to it in the media.
Yeah, whenever the media was like, Reddit, the fuck? Reddit was like, yeah, right, that's bad. Right. We know that is bad. Yes, we will take it down right now. How dare we have ever had that up there? Oh my. Like until the media and the advertisers were like, dude, what the fuck? We don't want this.
So like Reddit doesn't care about any of this stuff.
No.
They don't give a fuck.
As long as their money is
the only
happening.
reason that they did that is they were afraid they would lose advertising because the Christchurch shooting was really bad and they were worried that if, people connected the Donald to that, and then they connected Reddit to that, advertisers would pull out. Reddit
Pull
CEO
out?
Spez
Oh,
was in fact the
shit.
moderator of r/jailbait. That's actually a very good point, and you're totally right. I forgot that. This was in about 2008, 2009. Yes, one of the CEOs was actually a moderator on that subreddit.
Oh,
That's right, gentlemen.
gross.
However, I think that he might have been categorically a moderator of all subreddits because of the way the site was laid out.
That's
I'm not
still
sure if he was
fucking
explicitly
gross.
actually moderating that, or if that was just given to him based on his position at the company. So, we don't want to go too far with that. Only a minority on the Donald was racist. Stop rewriting the narrative. What part of the narrative have I rewritten?
Yeah, he didn't say anything about racism. He just said that the media said that the guy found something on the Donald. Like, Az didn't say that. He didn't say the shooter found something on the Reddit thread and that's why it was banned. He said the media started saying that he found some posts on the Donald or was active on the Donald, and Reddit was like, oh shit, we don't want the shooter to be linked to us. Like, what? Oh my god, some of the people in Asmongold's chat are just fucking stupid.
What part have I rewritten? I feel like, guys, for those of you that were there 3,000 years ago, have I provided an accurate portrayal of the chain of events?
Yes.
And how this leads to the place that we're at today?
Yes.
Yes. I think that I have. What did I say? So they had to get quarantined and banned. You're implying the whole entire subreddit was racist? No, I'm not.
No,
it doesn't matter
didn't.
whether it was racist or not. It matters whether
He
it's
said
being perceived as
it
being
was
racist
perceived.
or not.
Yeah, he said it was perceived to be racist. He did not make an opinion. He did not make a pronouncement on whether or not he thought it was racist. All he said was it was perceived as racist. Therefore, they quarantined.
You understand? Like, I don't care about, and this is like, again, that's why I said I don't want to get into like, oh, were they wrong or not? Yes, you are. Okay, well, I'll make it very clear.
Shit.
It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
I
There were
swear
people that
some
were
of the
racist
people
on
in
that
his
subreddit.
chat
Yeah.
are
Was
fucking
every single
Windows
person
lickers,
racist?
man.
I don't know. Were they racist more in 2019, 2020? Probably. But like, I don't know. I wasn't really there. They were unfairly banned, in my opinion.
Okay,
Well,
that's your opinion.
And again, I'm not going to get into
Good
whether
for
this
you.
should or shouldn't happen. My point is that Reddit made this happen themselves.
Yes.
Reddit wants this because having high, like, basically, like, extremist left-wing moderation is more profitable right now
It's good
than
for the
allowing
ad
right-wing
revenue.
opinions, like people asking about trans and, talking about, like, the Christ shooter and stuff
But
like
it's
that.
not even right wing. It's just common sense stuff that people want to talk about. That these people are like, no, you can't say that. You can't say that a woman, that a man that gets his dick chopped off doesn't automatically grow a uterus and ovaries and therefore is a woman. No, you can't say that.
That it's just simply more profitable than free speech. That's the reason why Reddit does it. Reddit doesn't have an agenda. They don't care about any politician.
Their agenda
Reddit
is
doesn't
money.
care about anything except for making money. That's all they care about. They had no problem profiting off of jailbait. They had no problem profiting off of racism. They had no problem profiting off of forced sex subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
They had no problem with any of it until the money came into question. Please do not confuse yourself and believe that they have any type of principle or morality.
Oh, fuck
they
no.
are a for-profit company. That's all they are. They serve a purpose to make money, and that is it. Anyway.
That's what
Same with
all.
Pornhub?
That is what all social media platforms are there. Like they're not there to be altruistic and be like, we are here to connect people because we care about the social structure of the planet. No, fuck that. They care about making money. Do you think Mark Zuckerberg cares about social connections? Do you think Jack Dorsey cared about social connections? Do you think Tom from MySpace, well, maybe Tom from MySpace cared because he wanted to be friends with everybody. But he's probably the only one that actually cared about social connections.
Anyway, this is just it's an ongoing issue, and I don't think that Reddit is going to change this problem. Now, what can users on Reddit do to combat overzealous moderators?
Make your own community?
And to combat people that are trying to use a subreddit as a tool to push their agenda? What can they do? It's very simple. They can make their own communities and have their own rules and decide what they want to do on their own.
It's called
free will,
You are not obligated
to go to a subreddit just because it's popular.
Nope.
That's what bots do.
Are you a bot? Are you a bot, people? Because I'm not a bot.
Actually is literally what bots do, by the way. You can go anywhere you want. So that's my advice. How many people are on Reddit? It used to be a useful search, technical questions, but nowadays ChatGPT 4 does better. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's the way I think people should address it and deal with it.
Holy shit.
Reddit has the biggest extremist creating site on the web. I actually really agree with this. I think that Reddit is the worst website for promoting extremism. The reason why Reddit is the worst website for promoting extremism is because Reddit allows users to actively censor each other. And no other community allows that at all. So basically, if you tweet, like, Reddit can effectively delete your posts, and other users can delete your posts by downvoting them.
Yeah.
Because the posts at the very bottom get, like, hidden, and you're not able to see them anymore.
Which is fucked up. Like, could you imagine if that happened on YouTube? That would suck. Like, small channels would never get seen. Like, they hardly ever get seen as it is. But, like, it would never happen. Ever. Same with, like, if it happened like that on TikTok. Holy shit.
So they effectively have the tools to censor people out. Now, what's my favorite place to hear honest discussion? 4chan is my favorite place to hear an honest discussion. And the reason why is that the most schizo, insane... Oh, and this is only about opinions. If I want to hear about something that is technical, like what's the best way to fix an Xbox 360, then yeah, I should go to Reddit. But if you're looking for opinions, you should definitely go to a place where everybody is nameless and every post is worth the same amount. And the reason why is that, in a weird way, if you give somebody a mask, it gives them the opportunity to tell you the truth. And people on 4chan can have the most insane, batshit, stupid fucking idea. And people have to read that the same as they have to read somebody else's well-reasoned argument.
True. I guess that's... I never thought about it that way. I just thought, honestly, that 4chan was full of batshit insane ideas and nothing else.
There's a certain amount of beauty in that. Because everybody there truly is equal.
I guess so.
And if you're looking to know what people truly think, well, there it is.
Well, I didn't know Reddit went that deep into censorship. Like, with... I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. And I knew, like... As I said before I started the video, like, I did know about, like, the policing of certain things, like, and it is by users, and it is very, very lefty extremist over on Reddit. Like I said, with r/Ontario, r/Canada, like the Reddit thread for our old city. Oh my god, that one's ridiculous. So it's very... The Reddit threads can be just absolutely crazy. So if you don't want to, like, Asmongold's right, if you don't, like, you can create your own Reddit thread. And like I said, we don't have this communist thing. where we can't express our thoughts. We still have the ability to express our thoughts. And we don't live in North Korea, we don't live in Russia, we don't live in China. We can speak our mind, we can post things, we can you can make videos and put your opinions out there. And the more that people with common sense do that, the more that we can fight against the extremes on both sides. Because it's not just the hyper left insanity that we need to be fighting against, it is also the hyper right insanity that we need to be fighting against. We need a more common sense, grounded approach to things. So we're going to take a look at a quick little video about how the Berlin Wall worked, which I've never thought about.
Imagine having to split a city into two completely separate parts.
That would be... yeah.
Road. Imagine having to split a city into two completely separate parts. Roads that used to connect are now dead ends. Your job on the other side of the city, inaccessible.
No
and
more
the
job for
neighbor
you.
across the street that you used to see daily, you will perhaps never speak to him again. The Berlin Wall did exactly
crazy.
that.
I can't imagine having that happen. Like, you could you imagine, like, you one day you go to work, the next day there's a giant fuck off wall and there's no way for you to go to work and you therefore lose your job?
Never speak to him again. The Berlin Wall did exactly that, separating East and West for almost 30 years. For this video, I've animated the various development stages of the wall in order to understand the design of this unique piece of architecture. This is how the Berlin Wall worked.
Interesting.
Living in Berlin before the wall was built was a strange life. You could move around the entire city freely, but you were either an East Berliner or a West Berliner. In the territory.
So you were either... Okay, so even though there was no actual division, they still spoke of each other as East Berliner, West Berliner.
Really, but you were either an East Berliner or a West Berliner.
Huh.
After the Second World War, the victorious nations had divided the German city into several parts.
Why?
The Soviet occupation zone ultimately became the territory of East Germany, a socialist state. And the western part of Berlin remained legally occupied, but in all practicality, it belonged to West Germany, a capitalist state.
Okay.
Socialism and capitalism, two different nations, and even two different currencies.
Wow, okay, so we split the city right down the middle, and when one part belonged to one nation, one part... Wow, okay.
Separated only by streets.
I didn't even understand
Trains
this
connecting the different parts of the city would make announcements. Next station, last stop in the eastern zone. Many people lived in one part of the city but worked in the other. East Berliners took jobs in the west in order to benefit from the stronger currency.
Oh, it's almost like even in communism, you have to be a little bit capitalist. Hi neighbor, bye neighbor.
While West Berliners got their haircuts in the east at prices that were much cheaper to them. And in a way, both systems tried to outdo the other. In West Berlin, a multitude of stores sprang up on the Kurfürstendamm Street, shop windows filled with the latest brand name products of...
Hey, don't you want to buy this stuff? Hey guys, look at all this stuff. Come buy all this stuff.
Kurfürstendamm Street, shop windows filled with the latest brand name products of Western consumer culture. While just a few streets away in East Berlin, there was Stalinallee, a street that was transformed into a boulevard full of buildings in the style of socialist classicism.
Stalinallee. You know what that means? Stalin Alley. They literally named a street after Stalin. Wow.
But this open coexistence of two systems wouldn't last long.
Text field. Double tap to edit.
On the 13th of August 1961, Berlin woke up to a divided city.
Duh.
The East German
Surprise!
government closed the border, which means that families were split apart. Though officially stating that this was necessary to protect their country, it was an effort to stop their own citizens from fleeing to the West.
Yes. Don't go over there where things are better. Stay here. You're not allowed to leave now.
Where opportunities, wages, and freedoms seemed greater. At the start, this was just a wall in name. It mostly consisted of fences and loose pieces of barbed wire, manned by guards.
Lovely.
There were some unguarded stretches, and it was even possible to jump across. To make escaping more difficult, construction immediately began on a more permanent wall.
Build
made
the
out of
wall!
concrete, and
Build
topped
the
off
wall!
with barbed wire coil around a Y-shaped metal arm.
Jesus.
But this is not
Impaling
how the wall
much?
worked everywhere. A shortage of building materials meant that in the first years, just 10% of the border was built like this. And there was another issue. Sometimes the border between West and East Berlin went straight through housing blocks. Houses that now had to become part of the wall.
Oh God. We must build the wall. Your house must come down. But I live here. Too bad. No more house for you.
The East German authorities forced people out of their homes and filled the windows with bricks.
Jesus.
Sometimes, however, they would forget a window. On August 17, 1962, Peter Fechter discovers one such house, making up part of the wall. Peter is frustrated with the East German government as they won't let him see his sister that lives on the other side of the wall. Together with his colleague Helmut, he fantasizes
Helmut!
about an escape to the west.
Helmut, we must go through the window.
The two of them see people inside the house, and in order not to be noticed, they take off their shoes and quietly creep in. By sheer luck, they quickly find the open window, and from here they have a clear view of the road to freedom. A fence, then a clear strip, and finally a wall. It seems doable, except for the fact that they are in plain sight of the nearby border guards.
Oh dear.
Suddenly, they hear voices behind them, and it is now or never.
Yeah, we gotta go. We're in a house. There are people about to discover us. We need to make a decision.
Peter and Helmut jump out of the window and climb the first fence. Then they are spotted,
Oh
and
no.
immediately the guards open fire.
No.
Helmut dashes across the strip through a haze of bullets. As he scales the wall, he looks back and he sees his friend Peter frozen in place. The guards are closing in further, and they will have a clear shot soon.
Run,
Helmut
Peter.
screams, and Peter finally springs into action. He makes it across the strip, but as he jumps up to scale the wall, he is hit mid-air and slumps down. Helmut can't help his friend. An entire 50 minutes passes as a crowd of onlookers gathers to see Peter lying on the ground, slowly dying at the base of the wall.
What the fuck? Yeah, communism is awesome. Communism, where you get shot and left to die for an hour, surrounded by a crowd of onlookers.
Ellipsis. Add again distrill. Hi neighbor by.
Tragic stories like Peter Fechter's were widely covered in the West. But for the East German authorities, the only lesson learned was to increase the wall.
We must build the wall higher. Bigger.
Over the course of
Stronger.
decades, the wall is consistently upgraded, with more and more increasing security features. What once was a single wall soon became a brutal border strip, cutting the city further and further apart. As improvements to the wall were made, escape attempts shifted to new methods, and the wall would be expanded again, a back and forth that was repeated until the last version of the wall was built. The version of the wall that became famous. From 1975 on, the East German authorities rolled out this version of the wall, a border virtually impossible for anyone to cross.
Now this was the wall that Reagan wanted torn down, I think, right? I read a really interesting book about a family from Germany in that time. It was a crazy read. Oh, interesting.
And this is how it generally worked. Coming from the east, only the visual barrier made of concrete slabs can be seen. This was done so that the exact border fortifications are not visible, as this knowledge could be used to plan escape attempts. Just behind this barrier, the ground is covered in so-called Stalin's grass. These are mats made of steel needles that would pierce the foot of anyone trying to jump across.
Damn.
Next up is a signal fence consisting of barbed wire stretched over concrete posts. Anyone trying to scale this fence would quickly press the wires together, triggering an alarm and notifying the guards in a nearby watchtower. Watchtowers were manned 24/7 by 2 to 5 soldiers. These soldiers had a clear view of the whole border, with orders to shoot anyone on sight.
God damn! You see anyone go over the wall, you shoot them. Shoot to kill.
Trying to use brute force to break these sections would not work either, as behind the signal fence are several rows of tank traps, barring anyone from driving through with a vehicle.
They really didn't want anyone to leave.
Is a path for soldiers to patrol the area, oftentimes accompanied by dogs.
Oh, good! Good!
Behind this
probably
is the
German shepherds, too.
Death Strip, a stroke of dirt stretching for miles in every direction, in full sight of the guard towers. Hiding
a no man's
is
land.
Impossible. And if anyone somehow made it past here, they reach a part that is easily recognizable: the wall facing the western side. In contrast to the old wall, these elements had a foot-shaped bottom, which meant that no holes in the ground were needed for their construction. And instead of barbed wire on top, there were now pipes made of asbestos concrete.
Oh, Jesus!
These pipes provided stability for the wall elements.
Asbestos
And the East German authorities also hoped that they would decrease the prison camp feeling of the previous wall.
They actually thought about that. We don't want it to look too much like a prison camp. Nine, we must make it a little aesthetically pleasing, yeah? So we put the pipes up there. Yeah. What the fuck?
But this was not the only reason for the change.
Oh my god.
The new concrete used was extremely smooth, with nothing to grasp onto. One thing the authorities didn't consider, however, is that this smoothness made the wall an easy target for graffiti from the western side. Graffiti that would dominate many of the 45,000 elements that were placed in Berlin.
Mr. Gorbachev,
Artworks that would often
wall.
mock the East German government resulted in an open gallery of sorts, highlighting the harsh difference between life in the West, where free artistic expression was possible, and life in the East, where this was unthinkable. Exact numbers of victims from this wall are disputed, and it is something that to this day is being researched. But over the years, it was many who, just like Peter Fechter, were hoping for a better life on the other side of the wall.
No kidding. I wouldn't want to live behind that wall. Especially if I had a chance to work in West Germany and see the difference. Like, I'd be like, I don't think communism is for me. I don't want to be there.
But the Berlin Wall was only a small part of the division of Germany. In addition to Berlin, the whole country was also divided into two parts. and
Oh,
some
really?
people made daring attempts, risking their lives to try to get to freedom.
Why did I think it was
For
just
example,
the
the two
city
friends
of Berlin?
Günter Wetzel and Peter Strelzik, who wanted to build a better life for themselves in the West. And after coming across an article about hot air balloons, an insane plan was born.
Oh no.
The two decided to build their own homemade hot
Why-
air balloon to escape
why?
across the border.
Why did I have a feeling we're gonna build a balloon? What material could you use to build a balloon? I wonder. That would hold air, and float, and carry you.
After everything is sewn together, the burner is started and the balloon takes off.
Holy shit!
But then, immediately after taking off, a huge hole is torn in the top of the balloon.
That's what I mean. Like, what? How do you make sure it doesn't rip, or that it actually like inflates
And they
properly?
could crash to the ground from over 6,000 feet. I made a complete video about this spectacular balloon escape, with some of my most elaborate animations and illustrations. And I was able to interview Günter for this project, who told me how the daring escape attempt went.
Wait, Gunther survived?
Chapman and Gandy I really
How the fuck do you survive? What the?
Plötzlich kamen vom Boden 3 Scheinwerferstrahlen auf uns zu. Und nach kurzer Zeit ist auch unsere Flamme ausgegangen.
This documentary is part of my ongoing Nebula original series Underexposure, in which I create higher budget productions, such as my video about the Bin Laden raid, with detailed animations exploring how the raid unfolded.
Interesting.
Or my video about the Tenerife disaster, the worst aviation accident that ever happened. Videos that are not made for the YouTube algorithm, but unrushed storytelling. Nebula is a creator-owned streaming service where the likes of Johnny Harris, Wendover Productions, Real Life Lore, or The Present Past post their videos early, ad-free, and create higher budget originals. The Present Past actually wrote the script for this very video with me, and he has his own fantastic video out about all the different borders in the world, which I would
Interesting.
highly recommend checking
Nebula,
out.
huh?
So go to nebula.tv/neo and make sure that you use that very link so that you get 40% off on an annual plan.
Oh.
All my exclusive videos are up there. So thanks for the support, and
Well,
thanks
I guess-
so much for watching this video.
I guess it makes sense that it would be a paid service if it's got higher budget, like if it's for higher budget content, you would need it to be a paid service so that the creators make money. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be a point in having a stream service where you have higher budget content. So, but that's interesting. That's I was a really cool video. I, for some reason, didn't actually think about the rest of Germany. I've only ever thought about East and West Berlin. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me that the rest of Germany would also have been split. I feel kind of stupid. But yeah, that was a fascinating video, and I think I should. You know what? Why don't I go and hit the subscribe button right now? Oh wow, 1.82 million subscribers. Wow, well deserved. Well deserved. Let's see. We're making our way through. Okay, we'll do this video and then we'll take a quick break. So this is a weird history video about the tragic story about the frozen man on top of Mount Everest.
You probably imagine Mount Everest as a pristine mountain landscape
Nope.
with a spectacular view in every direction. But the grim truth is, the place is absolutely lousy with corpses.
Yeah, there's corpses, and apparently nowadays mountain climbing is so like overwrought with tourists that there's like hundreds of thousands of people, like not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds to thousands of people every year that are trekking up to base camp, and it's no longer an isolated like adventure. It's everyone's doing it.
That's because once an unfortunate climber's body is frozen, it attaches to the hillside permanently. And thanks to some eye-catching footwear, one such body even became a famous landmark. So, today we're looking at the tragic
40 Autumns, a family story of courage and survival on both sides of the Berlin Wall. Huh. Cool. I will search that up.
story of Green Boots, the frozen body on Mount Everest
Green
that hikers
Boots,
use
eh?
as a checkpoint. But before we
Oh,
get started,
God.
be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel. After that, leave a comment and
They use the dead guy as a checkpoint? Holy shit. Oh, look! We've passed the dead guy. We're making good time. We've passed the dead dude.
let us know what other macabre topics you want to hear about. Okay,
Oh,
do
shit.
not lose sight of your Sherpa, because we are about to summit some weird history. Rising above the Himalaya mountain range, directly on the border between China and Nepal, with a summit that reaches over 29,000 feet above sea level, is Mount Everest. First successfully climbed by Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, the world's tallest mountain has long been a destination for mountaineers looking to test themselves and prove their skill.
Except, did you know that if there was no water around Hawaii, that those would be the tallest mountains?
The thing is, surviving Everest takes years looking to test themselves and prove their skill. The thing is, surviving Everest takes a lot of skill, and more than a bit of luck. Many who attempted the climb have proved deficient in one or both areas, and as a result, never came back.
And deficient in brain
because
power?
they died, in case that wasn't clear. In the past century alone, somewhere in the neighborhood of 330 climbers met their maker on the way to Everest's summit, succumbing to various dangers including hypothermia, exhaustion, lack of oxygen, falls, and avalanches.
Yeah, lack of oxygen is probably a big one. I wonder. I think there have been a climb. I wonder if there's ever been a climb to the actual summit of Mount Everest without oxygen, or if you actually need oxygen to climb it.
Among other perils. And as a reporter from the BBC once said, when Everest takes a life, it also keeps it. Indeed, the number of bodies on Everest grows every year from the climbers who lose their lives on its slopes. One of Everest's most famous non-living residents is known as Green Boots, thanks to, as we are sure
His
you've already
green
guessed,
boots?
his green boots. Until he moved in 2014, he resided at a particular location on the mountain where most hikers had to pass. And as a result, Green Boots became one of the landmarks for those heading up the slopes.
I was right! Oh my god, I was right! Hey, we passed the dude with the green boots! We're doing good! Alright!
Although it's not known exactly when climbers started to refer to the body as Green Boots, we do know his first known video image was taken in May of 1996 by mountain climber and filmmaker Matt Dickinson. That footage was used in a documentary called Summit Fever, a film that asserted the dead climber was from Nepal. Despite this claim, a consensus would eventually emerge that Green Boots was actually an Indian climber who died in the 1996 Everest disaster. That man is believed to most likely be Head Constable Sevang Palger of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, part of the first Indian ascent of Everest from its north side. It's also been suggested that it could be the body of another member of
The
Palger's
Everest
Border Police
disaster.
climbing team,
I'm not
of
sure
which
about
only
that.
one of 4 survived.
I do not know about the Everest disaster. Perhaps that is something I should look up.
In fact, the senior deputy leader of the team claimed in his reports that Palger's body disappeared, and therefore Green Boots may actually be Lance Corporal Dorji Marup. Marup's body, if it is not Green Boots, never turned up. And while there's no way to know with absolute certainty to whom the body belongs, Palger is the likely bet. Paljur hailed from the Ladakh region of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. He actually grew up around the mountains and knew them well. After completing the 10th grade, he dropped out of school to help support his family, joining the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, or ITBP. And it was with that ITBP that he made the fateful summit that cost him his life at just 28 years old. If you happened to be on Mount Everest on May 10th, 1996, you probably didn't make it far that day. A massive blizzard hit the mountain, taking the lives of 8 climbers, including Sevang Paljur.
Okay, so that's the Everest disaster. I'm not familiar with that, but that makes sense. A big, nasty blizzard hitting and trapping climbers. That makes sense.
By the time it was all over, the blizzard left behind the highest known single-day body count in the history of Mount Everest.
Oh, wow.
It was so bad that even some experienced guides perished while attempting to save groups of climbers. Several survivors have since written books about their ordeal. And Baltazar Kormacher directed the 2015 film dramatization Everest. Green Boots does not make an appearance.
Oh, that's what... Okay, I think I've heard of Everest.
Before being removed in 2014, everyone approaching Everest's summit from the north side had to pass by Paljur's body, located in a nook that had come to be called Green Boots Cave.
Yeah. See, we passed the cave with the body in it, guys.
According to mountaineer Noel Hanna, about 80% of the people who take the summit approach from the north side take the time to rest in Green Boots Cave. Because the little enclave provides some amount of shelter from the wind, it remains a popular spot for people to sit and catch their breath or even have a snack. Though it must have been pretty hard to stop at that spot and not notice the dead person sharing the cave with you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be like, I'm gonna sit here next to this dead person that's like been preserved because of how cold it is up here. Let alone like eat.
Or his fantabulous boots. Now, because he lays so close to the trail, during certain levels of snowfall, Green Boots' legs actually extended into the path. Many climbers would have to step over him to pass by. Many climbers found it very disturbing to have to step over the corpse of a man who died while attempting the same climb.
Yeah?
Some climbers considered it downright disrespectful. The dude did not plan on spending eternity as a signpost. Regardless of his emotional impact, his unmissable presence and distinctive lime green boots led to him becoming a grimly useful trail marker.
That would make me feel really gross. It's like, yeah, I'm climbing this mountain. Oh, look, here's this dead man who died trying to save other people climbing a mountain. Oh, look, I have to step over him. Ugh.
He passed away at 8,500 meters to the summit, so when they saw him, climbers knew just how close they were. In May of 2006, 34-year-old British mountaineer David Sharp passed away in the same cave. Trekking alone, which is already extremely risky, Sharp was attempting something borderline irresponsible. He was trying to reach the summit without the use of oxygen tanks.
Okay, there we go. There's the answer to my question. An idiot was trying to go to the top without oxygen.
A feat usually considered dangerous even to experienced Sherpas. Sharp had mountain climbing experience, but he wasn't up to the task he set for himself. It's unknown if he reached the summit that day, but either way, Sharp succumbed to hypothermia as up to 40 other trekkers passed him by in the area known as the death zone. This ominous phrase is used by mountaineers to designate the altitude at which point the air becomes too thin to support human life. And remember, Sharp was climbing without oxygen tanks.
Okay, so it is up. It does break through part of the atmosphere that is no longer breathable. Okay. There you go. That answers my question.
This doesn't need your world record that bad, man. Disputed reports say many of the other climbers failed to offer him assistance, either leaving him to be Green Boots or another hiker who had already perished. By the time people discovered Sharp needed help, it was much too late.
He was already
At the request
dead.
of his family, Sharp was moved a year later, which, incidentally, is no easy task.
Yeah, how do you get up there and move like a frozen dead guy? Like, that...
As much as the families of Mount Everest's victims want their loved ones back home, giving them a proper burial is rarely a possibility. Once the bodies become frozen, they pose several significant logistical challenges, becoming extremely difficult to move. Encased in ice, they not only stick to their locations,
They're
but are
much
much
heavier.
And remember how high up some of those unfortunate climbers met their end, making it nearly impossible for any potential recovery team to stay conscious while lugging the weight of a popsicle corpse. It's akin.
Yeah, you are not, like, even with oxygen, you are not going to be able to bring an ice body down
Remember
with you.
how high up some of those unfortunate climbers met their end, making it nearly impossible for any potential recovery team to stay conscious while lugging the weight of a popsicle corpse. It's akin to recovering a body from the bottom of the ocean. Getting a body down from Everest takes the work of multiple Sherpas, usually 6 to 8. And for the record,
Wow.
Sherpas do not work cheap. One mountaineer who inquired about removing green boots was told it would be in the area of around 70,000 American dollars. Like a wise clown once said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. That hefty price tag can be considered hazard pay, because any recovery attempt is dangerous as hell. By merely ascending Everest to do the work, those Sherpas would be putting their own lives in danger, knowing full well that if they die up there, no one's going to be
coming
paying
for
6 to 8
them.
more Sherpas to get their body down. Given the expense and difficulty of bringing a corpse down off the mountain, many families opt for a respectful concealment of the bodies from any prying eyes along the trail. While nobody knows exactly how many bodies still reside on Mount Everest, the estimate clocks
lot.
in around 280.
Holy shit! I didn't think it was that
I
much.
think the statistic would be bad for tourism. But apparently, having to walk a path literally littered with corpses of those who tried to walk the same path isn't that big of a deterrent. As around 800 people try to
are
climb per year.
wackos.
We'll stick to our mildly inclined treadmill, thank you. According to the Himalayan database, most climbers expire either ascending or descending from the summit, with fewer perishing at base camp. And as one might expect, the
I would
records
hope
reveal that
fewer
foreigners
perish at
are
base
far
camp.
more likely to lose their lives near the top than the records reveal that foreigners are far more likely to lose their lives near the top than experienced Sherpas.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Those who perish on the mountain generally stay where they fell, and only a select few receive nicknames from passing climbers. Probably because playing Name the Corpse isn't the most fun road trip game.
Name the corpse. Dad, let's play Name the Corpse. I'm bored.
In 2014, climbers on Everest reported that Green Boots was missing. In fact, reports said that many of the bodies once visible on the north side vanished. For example,
Interesting.
an area known as the Rainbow Ridge, due to the colors of the clothes on all the exposed corpses, was almost completely cleaned up. Experts suspect the effort was undertaken by the Chinese Tibetan Mountaineering Association and the Chinese Mountaineering Association. Both are partially responsible for upkeep of the north side, but neither has admitted to the cleanup, likely to avoid bad publicity. Beyond that, there's simply not enough evidence to say what exactly happened
Where did all
to
the
these
bodies go?
In 2017, reports of Green Boots sightings occurred, but were dismissed after other reports maintained that his body was covered out of respect and remains that way to this day. May his boots finally know peace. So what do you think? Have you ever dreamed of climbing Mount Everest?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
That is something, like, there are some things that I've always wanted to do, but climbing Mount Everest has never been one of them. I can safely say that I have never wished to climb a mountain before. That is not something I've ever. I've been up in a hot air balloon. That was fun. I got to do that when I was 13, and I went. It was up over Ottawa, and I went up, and we got pretty high, and it was really cool because. And it was in the summer, so it was like we start on the ground. It was nice and warm, and you go up in the balloon, and I was in a t-shirt, and I was fucking freezing. It was like winter temperatures up there. It was like fucking cold. And then we were near, like, we were up in a cloudy area, and I actually, like, put my hand out of the basket and stuck my hand in a cloud. It was so cool. It was like cold, like frozen and wet, and it was crazy. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. That it was just something I've never thought I would ever get to do. But yeah, I put my hand through a cloud. It was so awesome. It was so cool. But it was really interesting to hear, like, all the traffic and everything of Ottawa just melt away as we went up higher, and just go up even higher past where birds would be, and just there was no sound. It was really, really cool. It was just fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. All right, I'm going to do a quick bathroom break. So let me mute and pull up the music, and I shall return in a couple of minutes. All right. Okay. And we're back. So we have, let's see. What have I got left? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Holy shit. Okay. How much longer do I want to be streaming for? Let's do that. I know what I'm gonna do here. Okay. So let's go back over here. And so we're gonna learn about this IRL streamer that got 99 years. 99 years.
Fucking burden to society has just gotten into more trouble with the Israeli police. And it hasn't even been 72 hours since the last video I dropped on him. So since then, he's allegedly had an official threaten him with 99 years in prison.
Oh, he's been threatened. Okay. Threatened with 99 years. I'm guessing this is Johnny Somali. And for those of you who don't know who Johnny Somali is, he is an IRL streamer who makes a living going around being an absolute shitbag to anybody that he wants to. And he particularly chooses to be a shitbag in foreign countries. Last one was Japan. He was wandering around having his chat play like absolutely ridiculous songs and text-to-speech things over a Bluetooth speaker. And he was also on a subway or a train in, I think it was Tokyo or something like that. And he was putting on this ridiculous Japanese accent. And be like, I am American. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we do again. You know, like, just, it was ridiculous. Anyway, then he got in trouble and he got arrested for basically being a nuisance in Japan. And he was asked to leave the country. And he's like, I'm never going to stream this again. I'm never going to do this shit again, blah, blah, blah. And then he went to Israel. And is doing the exact same bullshit.
He's been taken in for questioning by the police again, and also threatened to sue me on Twitter and use my YouTube ad revenue on escorts and blow. So good for him.
Fuck?
I'm sure a judge will really take that seriously. But yeah, today we're talking about Johnny Somali. He's become a laughingstock here on the internet, but it seems like he hasn't even realized that people are actually laughing at how pathetic he is and not with him. As his entire stream chat is just actively trying to get him hurt or arrested, and every time something happens, they think it's the funniest thing ever.
So wait, he doesn't know that we're all like actually mocking him. He thinks that his chat is full of support and not full of people that actively want to see him arrested. That's ridiculous. This guy is deserving of anything he gets. Yep.
Johnny has somewhat become infamous because of harassing the public in Japan, and he was also arrested twice there and held in jail for about 90 days. And I guess when he was finally released from Japanese jail, his bright idea was to go to Israel and start testing the limits there. As it seems like this dude will literally do anything.
Because, everybody's super tolerant of bullshit in Israel.
For just a drop of attention, including committing crimes, harassing police officers, all for live stream content. In my recent video, we covered how he absolutely denied that, but unfortunately for him, he's live streaming everything.
Do I look like someone who's a harass anybody? Don't touch me.
Yes.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm from America. Don't touch me. I'm from America. Don't touch me. I'll slap that. I'll grab it too. Donald Trump told me grab it by the. I'll grab that too.
The dude is basically as dishonest as a...
But I'm not... do I look like anybody that would sexually harass anybody? And then he says that shit. Holy shit.
Comes, and he was proudly trying to falsely copyright strike myself, Decoy Voice, and Oompaville, so I posted that on Twitter. He then replied, "You're gonna get effed by my Jewish lawyers very soon for defamation."
Wait. you're in Israel carrying on like that, and then you're gonna say something like, oh boy.
Libel and slander. You will have to crowdfund legal fees just like last time. Cease and desist will be delivered. It's going to feel so good spending your YouTube ad revenue on blow and escorts. So to that I replied, you're pathetic. Because let's be real here, nobody damages his image more than himself. But speaking of lawsuits, damage, and injuries, when you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions, and that's the highest insurance office. You description down below. But without further ado, let's continue the video. Not too long after my interactions with Johnny on Twitter, I noticed I got this comment on my recent video. I'm in the same hotel as him. They are removing him from the country. Woke me up this morning, the same cops. The cops he was mentioning were the cops from the last video that showed up to his hotel to check.
That's funny. There's a commenter in the same hotel as Johnny. And he's putting, oh my god, he's literally dropping the tea.
Check on him.
That's
As allegedly, they heard Johnny claim to be injured from the hotel staff. This might have something to do with a series of events that happened on his stream the previous night, because after he got carried away, he was interrogated for 30 minutes. This is where all of Twitter was claiming he'd been arrested. Apparently, he was only detained and questioned. So I do need to correct that he was only detained here, but after being detained, he said this to the police.
You're gay. You're holy shit, man.
Touch you? Did they touch you?
I'm not scared of the police. You think I'm scared of these motherfuckers? You. You.
You should be scared of them. They'll fuck you up, dude. I don't want to fuck with them. They know some shit.
You.
Yes, laugh it up.
I mean, you gotta let him go. You're gonna get a little.
And he said all that after the police allegedly threatened him with this.
You know what the cop threatened me? What? He said 99 years. We'll make sure you don't come back to Israel. I said, I'm Ethiopian. I'm Jewish. You can't come back to Israel.
What the fuck?
This.
You know what the cop threatened me? What? He said 99 years. We'll make sure you don't come back to Israel. I said, I'm Ethiopian. I'm Jewish. You can't come back to Israel.
I'm Ethiopian, I'm Jewish, you can't come back. What the fuck does that even... Holy fuck. I don't know how this would ever be done, but I swear to God, I want a mass study done of people, in their 20s and under, and I want their brains scanned, and I want their social development evaluated using older people as a baseline. Like I want to see and compare adults that were scanned and evaluated from the same age group 20-30 years ago. And I want to see the differences. Because I guarantee you there are vast differences.
Oh, I have 3,000 viewers. Yo, shout out my gang. Pirate gang in the chat, W sub up.
It's insane to me that someone will happily ruin their lives for 3,000 viewers. The social media world is getting dystopian incredibly quickly. But then he had two very contradicting statements.
Yo, I need to get some money for what they did tonight, bro. That was crazy. I didn't expect them to really grab my head. They got mad because I'm talking. Tonight was a good night, bro.
Okay, so clearly it wasn't that bad if tonight was a good night.
Tonight was a good night, but I need money because they got crazy.
Like in his head, as long as he's getting attention, it's a good night.
Wow.
But going back to the police who were there to check on him, it's a little unclear what they were actually doing, but it seems like Johnny might have been exaggerating injuries, as he previously stated that he wanted some money. Yet, it was a good night.
I don't want to talk about anything. I need to talk to my lawyer.
You don't?
I'll talk to my lawyer.
You go to the hospital?
I'll talk to my lawyer.
You don't want to speak with me?
I do not want to speak with you guys. I'll talk to my lawyer.
According to the comment I received, those two officers showed back up, and then suddenly there was a news article out that said an American tourist harassed a police officer in the last Mocha protest of Tel Aviv. Jarkon Space Police and border fighters arrested a U.S. resident tourist in his 20s yesterday after harassing a police officer with and abusive statements about her as part of a protest as a recent TAA. As part of the investigation, it became clear that in addition to the harassment of the suspect policeman, he violated the order during protests and confronted police officers, interrupting police officers in performance of their duties and even raising harassment against the police officer on social networks. At the end of the investigation, on suspicion of interrupting a police officer in the performance of his duties, insulting a public servant, commotion in a public place, and violating privacy, the suspect was transferred to a proceeding with the immigrant authority for a hearing.
So he went to, they're basically, so this is, I'm guessing, translated from
to his deportation from the country for his attribution. Okay, so we have that article that came out claiming that he's about to get deported, but then a day later, Johnny goes live where he claims this happened.
So we're drinking at the coffee shop. Amir says we're drinking cappuccinos. 8 cops run up, secret police, grab me, throw me into a car. I get punched in the stomach, slapped in the face,
sure
slapped,
you do.
Choked, and they're like, you need to apologize to the Magab. You need to apologize to the girl you insulted. It was crazy. They choked me out and they put me on camera saying sorry now. And I said, never, never, never.
No, the fuck you did not. You did not, you lying sack of shit.
Never. You never did. You never gonna get some hostage video out of me. You're gonna have to shoot me with that M16. I crashed out.
I doubt it went down like that, but whatever, dude.
Yeah,
it happens.
It totally did not go down like that. This is like the dude. This is the dude in the bar. This is the dude in the bar, or in your living room, whichever one. This is the dude, right? That every time he tells a story about him getting in a fight, first of all, the fight was way worse than it actually was. And second of all, he kicked ass, man. And he said so much badass shit, dude. He's this guy.
They threatened me. They're like, yo, we're going to take you to a private room and beat your ass. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? They take me to the police station. I get put in prison for a night with a bunch of Palestinians and Ethiopians and Russians. I end up taking over the jail.
What the fuck ever?
All the guards, they're Muslim, Palestinian, they're with me because I'm from America. I ran the whole jail. I'm taking hummus.
You ran the jail. You were there for a night. You were there for a night and you ran the entire jail. Okay. Okay, Johnny. Okay, dear. Sure. And
I got out after one night, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. But he's claiming he's leaving Israel on Sunday.
But we're going to be leaving Israel Sunday. But yeah, I'm out. How am I deported if I'm walking around right here? I'm walking around in Israel right now. Life is good, dog.
Then finally, he had a message to say.
All I want to say is, look, BB, IDF, Assad, I know you're watching. I love Israel, and thank you guys for hosting me in your country. It's been a great 1-month trip. I'm leaving in 4 days, and I think we're gonna go to LA, do no jumper, then I'm going to South America. So yeah, that's the plan. LA, no jumper, South America.
Oh, good. Go to South America. Maybe some of the paramilitarios will fucking kill you, or maybe you'll run into a maybe you'll go pass through Mexico on your way to South America and run into a Sinaloa member and they'll fuck you up.
So let's make it happen, guys.
Okay, good luck to him, I guess. He's definitely playing a dangerous game, but he also briefly apologized on Twitter, saying, I apologize for my distasteful comments under the influence of alcohol. I am happy to be a guest in your beautiful nation. Thank you for hosting me. Yeah, dude, blaming alcohol doesn't excuse your garbage behavior. Either way, the guy's gonna crash out. The only question is, when? He's still being extremely bold, even though a police officer already threatened him, or at least an official threatened him, 99 years in prison, allegedly, but he's still running around being that bold. Is this Darwinism? I guess only time will tell, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.
This is Darwinism on a mass scale. We are witnessing the literal de-evolution of humanity. We are watching, and what's sad is that we have got so far more to go. And we're turning away from that and regressing. And it's sad. And I'm telling you right now, humanity, Homo sapiens, themselves have only existed in this like current bipedal, like the way we look now, for about 200,000 years. Okay? We ain't gonna make 1 million. We're not. We're gonna be a blip. We're not even gonna be here for 1 million years. We're either going to take ourselves out, or the planet, because I have a feeling that we're coming into another hot cycle, because we're just coming out of the ice age, right? So I have a feeling we're coming into another hot cycle. We're seeing more and more volcanism. So and it's been about 640,000 years since Yellowstone last went, and they've dated the last 3 eruptions. They looks like that happens about every 500,000 years. So we're due. So we're either gonna take ourselves out, or we're gonna be taken out by a volcano or a rock from space, and we're gonna be gone in the next 800,000 years or so. It's just what it's gonna be. MS-13's gonna get him, maybe. You can only hope, right? You can only hope that... I mean, it's horrible to say, but Jesus Christ. People like him just makes everything just look horrible. It just makes streamers look awful. And it sucks. It really sucks. Okay. So we're gonna pivot to some weird shit over here now about Walmart cream turning a woman's body into a chemical weapon.
All you want is to give your sister a proper funeral. It's been 70 days since the incident. And still, the hospital won't let you have her body, claiming that she could still be a biohazard. Meanwhile, their investigation is apparently no closer to finding the cause of death, let alone what toxic substance had leaked from your sister's body.
What the fuck? What incident? What's going on? What? Can we have a 70 days ago flashback thing, please?
And sent 23 of the doctors and nurses who had been trying to save her life to the hospital themselves, with so-called experts changing their stories by the day, key evidence mysteriously going missing, and even the leader of the investigation ending their own life.
The fuck?
You realize that if you're going to have any hope of finding out the truth, you'll need to take justice into your own hands.
What in the fuck am I watching right now?
Flashing lights sped through the streets as an ambulance raced towards Riverside General Hospital. Inside,
it looks like we're getting the flashback I wanted.
Flashing lights sped through the streets as an ambulance raced towards Riverside General Hospital. Inside, paramedics fought to save the life of Gloria Ramirez, mother of 2 and late-stage cervical cancer patient. Her boyfriend had called the ambulance after she started having trouble breathing, but things were getting worse. Gloria was still awake, but she was becoming incoherent, and her blood pressure was dropping fast. Paramedics wheeled her into the ER, where medical staff jumped into action. But soon, staff began to notice some weird things about Gloria, starting with an odd fruit garlicky scent believed to be coming from her mouth.
Fruit garlicky. What does the combination of fruit and garlic smell like, I wonder?
Add reaction. Spittle buggies whirling with him. But add spittle buggies whirling with him. But spittle buggies. Miss 13 is going to get spittle buggies whirling with him. But add chat spittle buggies whirling with him. But
Whirling with it. Yeah. It. This is.
double tap to edit.
What the hell? Fruit garlic. Interesting.
And the situation only grew stranger as they worked to save her life. Gloria's heart was beating too fast, causing her low blood pressure. So, Dr. Julia Gorczynski tried to regulate the heartbeat with a shock from the defibrillator. However, Gloria's shirt was removed to apply the paddles. They found a strange oily sheen on her skin.
Weird.
Even stranger, when Nurse Susan Kane punctured Gloria's skin to take a blood sample, a pungent chemical smell seemed to fill the air.
What the fuck? So her blood smelled chemical?
Furthermore, once the blood had been drawn, she and Dr. Gorczynski also noticed strange off-white crystals floating in the syringe. And then, suddenly, Nurse Kane swayed and fainted.
What the fuck is going on with this woman?
Gorczynski lifted the syringe near her nose and breathed in, only to begin feeling lightheaded herself. She made it out of the trauma room and to a nurse's desk before she, too, fainted. As other members of medical staff continued to fall ill around them, Dr. Umberto Ochoa made the call to evacuate the ER, while a skeleton crew of staff remained behind, fighting to save Gloria's life.
So, like, she's like radiating chemical smell and her blood is making people pass out. What the fuck is wrong with this woman?
Once everyone was out, the hospital declared an internal emergency. Ambulances were redirected to other unaffected hospitals, and hazmat crews were on the way. All the while, Dr. Ochoa and team provided medication and oxygen to Gloria, and tried to keep her heart pumping with defibrillators.
Wore some crazy ass
hazmat units entered
shit.
Riverside General's ER at roughly 11 o'clock p.m. and began sweeping the building, testing the air for any gas that may have caused the events that evening. It wasn't the hospital's first brush with hazardous materials causing detrimental health issues, let's say. The hospital had experienced a number of run-ins with hazardous materials in the previous few years. In 1991, a potential hazardous gas leak from a sterilizer caused 2 employees to seek medical treatment.
Oh, lovely! A leaking sterilizer. That's always good. That's always a lovely thing in a hospital. At least you're, easily accessible to treatment.
In 1992, a hazardous algae was found growing in the hospital's water reservoir. In 1993, the first floor ER was flooded with sewer gas from a drain. And then, in 1994, just 2 weeks before Gloria's visit, a 52-year-old cancer patient found his room filled with fumes so noxious that he vomited and had to flee.
Oh,
a nurse
God.
claimed this was caused by other nurses dumping things down the drain and into the plumbing system. So, all in all,
good job, nurses. Very good.
Does have a good track record. PDS Debt, of helping people get out of debt. With all the terrifying things that can happen to someone, one of the scariest has to be debt.
A sponsorship.
The worst part is that it doesn't matter where you go, even if you vow to never leave your home again. Nothing, save maybe a global nuclear disaster, will stop debt from catching up with you. If you keep making payments on your debt and it refuses to go down, don't worry. Today's sponsor, PDS Debt, is here to help. Everyone with over $10,000 in debt qualifies, no matter their credit score. PDS Debt's program rolls all of your payments into one low monthly payment so you can pay off the debt while saving thousands on interest and fees. There have definitely been times when I wish I knew PDS Debt was an option. Could have paid off my debt
Arsenic
panic purchases a lot faster.
Catasis?
PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis. It only takes 30 seconds. Head over to pdsdebt.com/brew to get your free debt assessment today. But in this case, the
I don't know if
hazmat
I
teams
can go
didn't
through
find
all the
anything,
videos I
and the
have.
hospital even received a clean bill of health after independent investigations of the hospital. And yet, 23 staff members had fallen ill after some kind of gas had apparently filled the room. But where had it come from? Could it possibly have been Gloria?
Well, I didn't say I was going to do 4 hours
the medical
tonight.
staff had been unable to revive Gloria, and after 45 minutes, she was gone. With the mysterious chemical scent seemingly coming from Gloria's blood, and the mysterious crystals that were floating in her blood, her body was sealed in 2 bags, then placed in an airtight aluminum casket.
Holy shit!
To the morgue.
2 bags in an airtight
But the autopsy
coffin.
wouldn't take
All
place
right.
for another 6 days. Until then, the hospital staff were left to pick up the pieces and wonder what exactly had happened in the ER that fateful night. When the autopsy was finally carried out, it was done so with the utmost caution.
With the utmost caution and the utmost hazmat
an exhaust
protection.
that filtered through charcoal to remove any possible fumes, pathologists wore hazmat suits with external air supplies to remove any potential risks to their health as they examined the body. The autopsy failed to reveal what had happened in the ER a week prior, but it did reveal one thing. Gloria had passed due to cardiac dysrhythmia, a fancy phrase which means an irregular heartbeat. This irregular heartbeat was in turn found to be caused by kidney failure. However, the autopsy only found elevated levels of acetone and no signs of anything toxic, especially not anything that might have caused the kinds of fumes that struck the Riverside General staff. Without much in the way of answers, a second autopsy was performed a month later, on March 25th. This one found something else, evidence of an anti-nausea medication called Tygan that can break down into ammonia, but there weren't high enough levels to have knocked anyone unconscious. Not only were the autopsies not answering questions, the overall investigation seemed to be just raising more. After Gloria's first autopsy, County Deputy Coroner Dan Capito said that Gloria's passing had not been natural, a claim which he then reversed course on after the second autopsy.
Well, okay, why? Because it's clear it's not a natural death.
At which point he stated that her passing had, in fact, been natural.
But what was it?
A new autopsy revealing new information isn't unexpected, but when later asked about the conflicting statements, Capito couldn't account for his first statement. But that wasn't where the oddities in the investigation ended either. A month into the investigation, the coroner's office investigator in charge of Gloria's case took her own life.
The fuck?
And later, the syringe that was used to take Gloria's blood sample was accidentally discarded.
Of course, yeah, accidentally. Accidentally discarded. I'm
Literally
sure.
throwing away a key piece of evidence. All the while, the county refused to release Gloria's body. After all, they weren't sure if she could be a biological hazard.
Oh,
but
now
that
you
was
want
little
after.
comfort to her grieving family. Over a month had passed since Gloria's passing, and her body still hadn't been released for a funeral, causing the family to grow restless.
Well,
and the county wouldn't release her for a while yet. It wasn't until late that month, the week of April 22nd, that Gloria's remains were finally released to her family by court.
But did they ever determine a cause of death?
April 22nd, that Gloria's remains were finally released to her family by court order, at which point the family paid for a third and final autopsy to be carried out by a privately hired pathologist.
That's probably the best thing to do. Because if this isn't being determined and, like, you're not getting the right answers, I would hire a private pathologist myself. If I'm reversing their statements completely and then going, I don't know what you're talking about, I would definitely be hiring a private pathologist.
Unfortunately for them, the pathologist discovered that by then, she had decomposed too much to yield any additional evidence. There were no new answers, only anger. Speaking to the Washington Post, Gloria's sister, Maggie Ramirez Garcia, stated her belief that the hospital had taken so long in order to hide their own responsibility in her passing, saying, "It takes them 10 weeks to say she died of natural causes. I honestly believe my sister may have lived if she hadn't gone into that emergency room that night. I don't know what the county is afraid of, but we want answers." And the family weren't the only ones upset with how the county was handling the situation. Michael Baden, the former NYC chief medical examiner.
Oh, you like it too, Spittlebuggies? It looks better? Good.
Made his own issues known with regards to how the investigation was going in Riverside. In a telephone interview with the Washington Post, he made his opinions known, saying, "There's no way fumes can come out of a body and hurt people. That idea went out with the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
This kind of thing gives death a bad name. Dead bodies don't make people sick."
No, you can't. This isn't like a maybe like a plague-ridden body, but something like this, no.
And with no real answers to be found for the mysterious outbreak that put 23 hospital workers in, well, the hospital, all sorts of theories started to come out of the woodworks. The coroner's office came up with one theory. It was the smell of death that caused the hospital workers to faint, ignoring the fact
Whatever.
that Gloria was still alive when the team started to pass out. Then, the California Department of Health
The
Services and
miasma
OSHA
of
both
death.
came out with their theory, mass hysteria. Their theory stated that when Nurse Kane smelled ammonia in the air and fell unconscious, it caused other staff to believe that there was something in the air, and in the worst placebo effect around, their belief convinced them that it was real, and hospitalized 23 of them.
guess so?
Of course, that doesn't really track with the evidence provided. Sure, mass hysteria can cause some pretty serious symptoms, but it doesn't often put a doctor in the ICU for 2 weeks.
No. No. Especially not a doctor, like a trained medical professional. They would probably be more aware of the placebo effect than anything. Chemicals can cause problems with your corpse or ailing bodies. That's true.
Then confined them to a wheelchair for another 3 months due to lung damage and knee degradation.
Jesus.
Needless to say, this explanation didn't exactly go over well with the staff at Riverside General who were affected. Dr. Korchinski, in particular, sued for $6 million, stating that her career was ruined thanks to the events. And, to be fair, you'd probably be pretty mad too if you suffered lung damage, wound up bound to a wheelchair, and then told that you just imagined it. There were other theories too,
that
some
would
less
piss
grounded
me
than
off,
others,
too.
like the one that accused the hospital of being the site of a secret methamphetamine lab.
What
There
the
is,
fuck?
However, a more likely explanation. A dark secret, unknown to anyone. A chemical weapon was brewing inside her body. Remember that oily substance that medical staff had noticed on Gloria's skin as they tried to treat her?
Yeah.
Well, that and the fruity garlicky smell are both traits of a substance called dimethyl sulfoxide.
Dimethyl what?
Garlicky smell are both traits of a substance called dimethyl sulfoxide.
Dimethyl sulfoxide.
Or DMSO for short. DMSO was discovered as a byproduct in the paper-making process, but was also found to have a very interesting trait. It could be used to help transport molecules through the skin, and so was used to transport medication in products like skin patches.
Ah. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. I often wondered how medication patches worked. I guess that's how. Huh. That's pretty cool.
It also has been used by athletes to treat muscle and joint aches, was approved by the FDA to treat bladder problems, and is a home remedy for arthritis, general pain, and cancer. In 1965, DMSO was banned from further clinical trials and was recalled by the FDA due to tests that demonstrated it could ruin a user's eyesight after altering the eye lens in test animals.
Oh, God. Even if you didn't put it on your eye, like in your eyes? That's scary.
However, it has remained available through other means. DMSO can be found at hardware stores as a solvent and at veterinary stores for use on animals, and it seems to even be available in the body lotion section of Walmart.
What the fuck?
Despite the image on the page clearly showing a warning that is to be used as a solvent only. But aside from its appearance and smell, where DMSO links in our case is what happens when more oxygen molecules are added to its chemical composition. According to a paper from the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, elevated levels of DMSO2, also known as dimethylsulfone, were found in Gloria's system during her autopsy. A fun trait of DMSO2 happens to be that it appears as a white crystal at room temperature.
So that's what was in her blood. The white crystals. Wait.
Also known as dimethylsulfone, clearly showing up to be at hardware stores as a solvent, has remained available through other means, altering the eye lens in test animals.
What's it called?
Leads to treat or medication and be used to peptide, or DMSO, are both traits of a substance called dimethyl sulfoxide.
Dimethyl sulfoxide. That's what it's called.
It has remained available through other means. DMSO can be found at hardware available smell, where DMSO links in our case is what happens when more oxygen molecules are added to its chemical composition. According to a paper from the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, elevated levels of DMSO2, also known as dimethylsulfone, were found in Gloria's system during her autopsy. A fun trait of DMSO2 happens to be that it appears as a white crystal at room temperature, kind of like what Nurse Kane and Dr. Gorchinsky saw in Gloria's blood sample. However, dimethylsulfone is not dimethyl sulfoxide's final evolution. That would be dimethyl sulfate, DMSO4. The Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory study proposes that the oxygen being pumped into Gloria and the other measures staff undertook to save her life may have continued the chemical reaction, adding another couple of O's to the DMSO2. And DMSO4 is a much bigger issue. It's a colorless, oily liquid that gives off a faint onion smell and is not only toxic, but also an honest-to-goodness chemical weapon used in World War I.
Oh God! Oh God! So dimethyl sulfate was used in World War I as a chemical weapon. And it came, and it was like covering her body as a byproduct of this, the dimethyl sulfone in her body, and turned into dimethyl sulfate and came out as a sheen, as an oily sheen.
It can cause a laundry list of symptoms, including, but not limited to, necrosis of the eyes and mouth, damage to the lungs, kidneys, and heart, coma, severe blistering, cancer, and of course, loss of life. In fact, of all the potential symptoms of DMSO4 exposure, only delayed kidney damage and death were not reported by the hospital staff.
Interesting.
Here's hoping that it stayed that way. Plus, the researchers at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory even managed to duplicate the formation of DMSO4 under conditions similar to Gloria's in test tubes, meaning that as far as theories go, this one is looking pretty credible.
Yeah, I would say if you can replicate what happened, I'm pretty sure that that's the most likely theory.
But why would Gloria have had DMSO on her? Well, the sad truth is that she might have just been desperate. Gloria was young, but suffering from late-stage cervical cancer, and DMSO was a folk remedy to help treat it. Maybe she was in pain and just needed something to help. But based on the evidence on hand, it seems like she might have bought some DMSO and rubbed it into her skin. Gloria's family denied that she had used DMSO, and the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory paper does state that they only have anecdotal evidence, and that it's possible that her body could have created DMSO2 through another way. Sadly, the researchers were unable to get any more information because of the, quote, adversarial evolution of this case and the current legal ramifications.
That makes sense. The family just doesn't want to, they just don't want to deal with it anymore. They were probably pissed off enough by the hospital, and they just don't want any more digging.
At the end of the day, we may never know the exact details about what happened that fateful night in the Riverside General Hospital's ER, but it seems like we have a pretty good idea. It's a tragic tale of a mother losing her life and a rare chemical reaction and injuring 23 more. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to our channel. You'd be surprised to know how big of an impact your one sub has on this video's success. Plus, we've got plenty more mysteries coming that you won't want to miss. So, until next time, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.
That's, it's insane. Like, I wish I was better at math and the I just wish that I was able to do the math required for balancing chemical equations, balancing atoms, balancing like the elemental stuff. Because there are so many interesting chemical reactions that happen, and I was never allowed to do any of the actual pouring of chemicals or any of that in my science classes, because if it wasn't my science teacher doubting me, it was my educational assistant who was actually trained to work with blind people. But she still was like, no! You can't! You can't! So yeah, I wasn't allowed to, like, pour any chemicals. I wasn't allowed to light the Bunsen burner. I wasn't allowed anything. I just got to sit on my stool and get told the things that were happening, and I just got to write them down. It was very, very disheartening. But I wish that I was able to enjoy things like chemistry more. Because I think that it would have been a lot more fun. Holy shit, 11:21. We're coming up to the 2.5 hour mark, you guys. Well, how much do I have left here? See, I want to see this Internet Hates This Woman video, but it's like 40 minutes long. Let's take a little bit of a look at this. I don't know if we'll watch the whole video, but we'll take a look at it, because I'm curious.
You know who Oprah Winfrey is? Do you know who Oprah Winfrey is?
Oprah Winfrey?
I do, because my mom used to watch a lot of Oprah Winfrey, and Dr. Phil as well.
Eric, you say that your mom f***s you?
Yes, she f***ed me so
the Sentai Pad episode.
And often does she f*** you a lot?
Dude, Filipino hookers don't get f***ed the way I do.
Curiosity got the better of me recently, and I happened to Google my name online. And guess what I found? All of my personal information completely available for you will protect yourself and to get it's been noticeably different. And I have a bit of also getting started a 14-day trial by clicking and apply them to me and my father.
Open the door or I'm gonna throw rocks through your windows, you dumb whore.
And
what the fuck? Oh my god! I got to hear Dr. Phil say, open the window or I'm gonna throw rocks through it, you dumb whore. Holy shit! Holy shit!
And I was like, that shit ain't working. But then I turned out to be a commentary YouTuber. So maybe it did work, guys. Yeah! Yeah!
We all have big dreams. And sometimes it's better not to dream that dream.
Oprah Winfrey is one of the biggest,
it's better
most
not to
prolific
dream that
daytime
dream?
television
Okay.
hosts of all time. The Oprah Winfrey Show ran for 25 years from 1986 to 2011, so she old.
Very old. She even got her own network on TV. She had the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Then launched the careers of a ton of different TV personalities. Dr. Phil, for example.
In 1998, I went through the infamous beef trial. It was infamous for me. That was down in Texas, and the man who got me through that time was not my attorney, who was Chip Babcock. You need an attorney. But it was Dr. Phil McGraw, because he was the strategist for the entire trial.
Oh yeah, that's what Dr. Phil actually was. Okay? He wasn't like a practicing psychiatrist. He was a fucking court strategist. He used his degree in psychology to be a strategist for court. Wow, what a start, right?
According to Oprah's bio in the National Women's Hall of Fame, which is a thing, out of all of her
she
projects
actually,
in
there's,
her entire
oh my
career,
god.
she has one message to tell everyone. Individuals should take personal responsibility for their lives and to improve the world. Now, what if I told you Oprah Winfrey is a big old liar?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Considering that she and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just got their asses reamed out for the shit they pulled in Hawaii.
Burn her, burn her. Take her off television and stop.
Now you take that low-class trifling and get out of my house.
People are saying that
the
Oprah is
color
a massive
purple.
liar for one thing, her name's not even Oprah Winfrey, it's Orpah. Named after a character from the Bible, potentially Oprah is a force for evil.
Orpah?
After a character from the Bible, potentially Oprah is a force for evil.
Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed.
What the fuck? What's that?
Okay. Now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute, please.
Why does everyone hate Oprah Winfrey, and why is she a liar? Now, I don't really know a lot about Oprah Winfrey, to be fair, but I've been seeing a ton of just negative shit about her recently. This might be maybe some reasons why I think potentially that people hate Oprah. I think maybe because she's defrauding people for millions of dollars and Weight Watchers, and then also using a diet pill, but like living a life of, you know, counting carbs in, carbs out, and
yeah, she's been a big girl for a while, and she's always been like the Weight Watchers, the whole thing about the car, giving away the cars, but they weren't actually gifts. They were like it is with the normal, like winning a car. It's a lease,
being healthy and stuff, but instead she's
kid
just like,
evangelical types, yeah.
And take Ozempic, and I'm 70 and I'm look great and stuff. I think she looks great, and it's pretty hard to tell. We're going to be getting into a little bit of conspiracy talk here today, guys. By the way, I'm not anti-Oprah. I was just kidding. I think Oprah is an all-right person, I guess. She's one of the super elites.
So this is right up your alley.
No, she's not a good person.
Projects is the way to go.
I think she's a billionaire or some shit like that. Some
Very
of the
much
stuff we're going to
so.
discuss is quite controversial. All right, everything is alleged. All right, it's implied. It's not a statement of fact. This is just a pure entertainment. I saw some crazy shit online, some crazy rabbit holes, and I was like, I got to make a video about Oprah.
I'm not lesbian. I'm not even kinda lesbian.
Weight loss guru? More like liar! The biggest thing that's been in the news lately is Oprah has been a shareholder and board member for Weight Watchers for 9 years.
Well, she's been a spokesperson for Weight Watchers for fucking decades. I remember Weight Watchers commercials with Oprah from the 90s.
Watchers is a little thing people watch their weight, I guess.
Whether you're a dine-outer, take-outer, veggie person, definitely not just veggie person, bread lover, or cheese lover. All you have to do is answer personal assessment questions and get scientifically matched with a proven weight loss plan.
In 2015, she announced that she partnered with Weight Watchers after being approached by them and liking their goal message, whatever it may be. Classic Shark Tank type stuff.
Yeah.
Oprah had publicly struggled with her weight for years, but liked the program enough to partner with the brand and aid in its evolution. Having Oprah attached to your brand, huge.
I remember Weight Watchers commercials with
over
Oprah.
$221 million, which is crazy. She has a captive audience. Hey, Oprah, would you like to partner with Sour Boys Candy? Sour Candy Company. It's called go to sour.gg. We sell out all the time, but we restock every Friday. We've been consistently restocking Friday, so if you want to get sour candy, it's Friday, all right? Sour.gg, we sell out every Friday, sometimes into Saturday, but it just depends. Also, we have a new flavor coming the next week.
Ooh.
We've got 2 brand new flavors right now that nobody's ever seen before. Maybe there has been cotton candy, sour candy. I'm not sure. We got cotton candy and cherry mango. The next one we have is a little thing called snowberry. Anyways, Oprah
What's a
is no
snowberry?
stranger to insane body transformations. 2012 Oprah versus 2018 Oprah. How about 2024 Oprah? She changes a lot. It's all the adrenaline.
She really does. It's like she just morphs from person to person. Like she's like she invasion of the body snatchers people, and she just becomes a different person.
She has, or whatever, allegedly. I don't really know. She looks great, by the way. In 2018, she looks happy and she looks nice, and I've always really liked Oprah's energy. She's also 70. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't know she was 70. That's not fair. That's
she's
insane.
old.
She looks amazing. Oh my god, I feel like a fucking rotting fruit in the sun compared to Oprah, and she's 70. She's 43 years my elder. What the fuck? Oprah loves bread.
I love bread.
Bread. Why did she have to say it like that?
Oprah loves bread.
I love bread.
She's like, bread. She became a bread demon for a section. I love bread. All right then, Oprah.
I love bread. I now just manage it, so I don't deny myself bread. I have bread every day. I have bread every day.
Dude, same, Oprah.
I have bread every day.
Finally, someone gets it. My sister just started making sourdough because she's like everyone else making sourdough. There's so many people.
I want to make sourdough.
She's really good at it. These commercials give me PTSD. I'm going to be honest because I used to see them a lot. I feel like I saw them when I was a kid, but I couldn't have because I wasn't a kid when these came out. But I
feel like I saw them when I was a kid.
I remember them really well.
What's great about the Smart Points program is you do both. It's not counting calories.
I remember these too.
Points, which actually is
and I feel like I was a kid too when I saw them, but I probably wasn't.
Gives you accountability. When you realize that you don't have to give up anything, that's when you can really manage everything.
No, Oprah, we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. Everything you
It's
talk
the
about, we don't
yummiest.
like
I
because
really want to
we
try to
know
make
what you've
it.
done.
But and the thing is that there are so many like Mennonite farms around me. I've got like I want to find a starter. I've got to find a starter. I don't know where I can do that.
Done a very good job trying to really appeal to people's emotion to join Weight Watchers in spite of being heavily paid.
Yeah.
Heavily profiting off of all this. You think this is her lifestyle, right? And it seems like
it's totally
Can
not.
I tell people what happened if they don't know what happened? Do you mind?
Okay.
Okay. So Oprah, what 10% of the company? Is that what you bought?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So the stocks were trading at $6 a share. She goes like $40 million.
Yeah.
Put in one day. She made $45 million. It doubled by the end of the day.
Oprah apparently fails every time she tries.
Nothing you've ever been through is wasted. So every time I tried and failed, every time I tried again.
When did you fail, Oprah? Fuck off. I hate when these people that are like literally billionaires and have everything ever, and they're like, I've tried and failed. Really? Where? I don't see that. I don't see anywhere. I don't see trying and failing. Even when you fuck up, you still skate on by because you have enough money to cover your ass. Where do you fail? Have Pincalo just make a starter. I want to figure out how to make one. And the thing is, though, but it's like, I feel like rich people, unless they've literally made themselves rich by their blood, sweat, and tears, they don't understand what it is to fail. I really don't.
And every time I tried again has brought me to this most powerful moment to say, if not now, when?
Oprah also explained how she became involved with Weight Watchers on The Ellen Show, another massive
Weight Watchers called me.
Another massive bitch.
Mid-July. We had our first meeting in August, and they said, we would like you to come aboard our program and, do what you do. Self-empowerment, self-enrichment. We think that you can bring another level to us for Weight Watchers. I said, I can't do it unless I actually go on the program.
I don't know if Oprah is a massive bitch, but we all know that Ellen is. Ellen, it's been pretty well proven now that people hate Ellen.
Ellen is not a nice lady.
Sort of a disliked person heavily in the Hollywood field.
In 2020, amid emerging reports of a toxic workplace culture, more and more people started coming forward about their horrible experiences with Ellen. From Mariah Carey being manipulated by Ellen to reveal her pregnancy before she was ready, to her heartless treatment of the rising kid star Grace and Trance, there are countless stories that show Ellen is far more sinister than she seems.
Within a few months of becoming a Weight Watchers partner, Oprah lost 42 pounds using their points program. Famously, she brought out a bag of fat in a radio flyer wagon to visually show
I
how
remember
much fat she
that.
had.
After losing 67 pounds on a liquid diet, the next day, y'all, the very next day,
I started to gain it back.
It's a personalized point system that's based on the age, weight, height, activity level, and it basically assigns you daily points that encourage healthy eating.
My
and
mom
lifestyle
did
habits
that
for customers.
stupid
It's
thing for a
gamifying
bit.
a lifestyle that is conducive to, a healthy...
And she bought the Weight Watchers bread, which the slices are like... Imagine a regular slice of Wonder Bread sliced in half. Like, again, it's about half the thickness of a slice of Wonder Bread is Weight Watchers bread.
Sort of existence. It's pretty cool. It's a sweet little thing, you know? Oprah was famously able to consume 30 points worth of food a day. The program is extremely successful. It emphasizes healthy habits. Weight Watchers, the whole thing, it's not a one-size-fits-all, by the way. It really
Weight Watchers has been
emphasizes
around
your weight,
for, like,
which for some people can
decades.
create a negative relationship with your body image and the way that it relates to food, which is completely valuable. Same thing if you're a fella out there and you see really jacked dudes and stuff, and then, you know, it's like you start to compare yourself, whatever, you start counting your macros and shit. I don't know. Body dysmorphia is very common, and all these problems are very, very, very common. They're just approached improperly.
Yeah, see? Body dysmorphia is very common. Trans people.
It seems like. In March of 2024, Oprah Winfrey announced that she was leaving the board of directors and selling and or donating her remaining shares of Weight Watchers, completely leaving the company behind in the era
whole
of
wheat,
diet pills such as Ozempic.
Miles up in Tri Zone, I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
Stock price hadn't been good since the whale
Ozempic.
and jumped overboard. Whale, I mean shareholder. I'm not trying to be like offensive or whatever, but quite literally it's gone down nearly 100%. It's not good. It's pretty bad.
So the company had to actually issue a financial statement about this to the SEC. It was that big of a deal. And they said there wasn't a disagreement or anything. That was not the reason. And the company in a statement to us saying that, look, she wants to advocate authentically in this space. She doesn't want to have a perceived conflict of interest, like she's making money off of selling these drugs.
The peak stock price
But
was
she
$102 in 2018, the golden Oprah era of Weight Watchers. That's what we call it. She was the Muad'Dib of women watching their weight. It's not just for women, I don't think, by the way, but it always seemed like it was for me, probably because of Oprah. I mentioned the whole diet pill thing. Oprah decided to end her partnership with Weight Watchers because she started to use diet pills.
Oprah Winfrey deciding to step down from...
I don't want to watch my weight anymore. I just want to take diet pills.
The board of Weight Watchers after 9 years, sending its stock plummeting and raising questions about its future. Days after the Globes in January, she revealed after decades of dieting, she has been taking a weight loss drug, telling People magazine, "I'm absolutely done with the shaming from other people and particularly myself."
And she uses it as a tool paired with continuing to track food and using daily exercise.
In a statement, Oprah promised to work with Weight Watchers to elevate the conversation around recognizing obesity as a chronic condition, working to reduce stigma, and advocating for health equity. Adding weight health is
equity?
a critically important topic and one that needs to be addressed at a broader scale.
No, I'm sorry. Health equity. If you're obese, you need to not be obese anymore. The health equity is getting yourself down to a weight that your body can handle. That's what that is.
She didn't want there to be any conflict of interest when she did her weight loss special on her own network, which is streaming on Hulu or something. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it. Do you think I'm going to watch Oprah? I might now, dude. She looks great.
Because this special was really important to me and I wanted to be able to talk about whatever I wanted
I
to
feel
talk
like
about.
Oompa doesn't quite know,
of being a weight
which
health
is weird because
company
Oompa does a lot of
that also
research.
Administers drug medications for weight. I did not want to have the appearance of any conflict of interest. I see.
But
so
there
I
is.
resigned from the board.
By the way, Weight Watchers also has drug medications for weight loss. Oprah didn't want people to believe she was profiting off of drugs by endorsing those drugs through Weight Watchers. So she just cut ties. She's a billionaire anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. Specifically, she doesn't name any drug. It's a miracle, whatever she says.
Drugs, like Ozempic, may also help curb drug addiction.
Ozempic could help people with early onset Alzheimer's.
Wait. The weight loss drug could lower drug addiction and impede
If you could use it
Alzheimer's?
for all these
Okay.
applications, it would truly be a miracle drug.
She's probably not allowed to endorse anything for a certain period of time after leaving the Weight Watchers board because it could be.
Oh,
very bad look.
Oprah's a
Also,
liar
looks
and
like
has
she's
a
selling
history
slash
of it.
donating-
Yeah, I feel like I think I'm gonna leave that here because I feel like I don't know. Let's see what the chapters are. Maybe we can skip ahead a bit. Okay, maybe not. No chapters? Weird. I thought there was chapters. Yeah, like Oprah, I remember watching Oprah for with my mom, and I just never really liked her. Like Dennis Leary has a good bit on her in his book Why We Suck, and I know it's like a comedy book, like a comedian writing a book, but he's not wrong about how just like manipulative Oprah can be, and just how like it. I've never liked Oprah. Never liked Oprah. It's a diabetes medication. Interesting. And apparently it's a miracle drug that can stop drug addiction and Alzheimer's. Oh, okay. We're gonna end our stream with a Code Blue Cam video, I think, because I saw this, and it's Drunk Man ends his, hold on, what's the title? Drunk Man drives onto frozen lake to escape police. So let's take it to the 3-hour mark with this video.
In January 2024, police were advised by a county deputy of a pickup truck traveling at a high rate of speed in Lake Hallie, Wisconsin.
Oh, it's not lacrosse this time. Holy shit.
A 22-year-old male driver named Nicholas was reportedly traveling 85 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone,
Wow.
resulting in the deputy's inability to intercept the vehicle. Minutes later, a Lake Hallie police officer observed the speeding truck and began to pursue it. When he initiated his emergency lights, Nicholas immediately fled.
Here he goes.
274, Cody, copy of 1080. Business 53 southbound, that black Chevy, just passing 21st Ave.
Off he goes.
Looks like Wisconsin truck.
That's 274,
Speed. Just blew the lights at Melby, continuing Hastings southbound.
That's 274, counting all units.
It's going pretty quick. 95, shit.
Just coming up to Eddie Lane.
So that's like, what, 130, 140 kilometers?
North Crossing.
Dumber than expected becomes even dumber. Yep.
We're in the roundabout at Black Avenue.
Taking a roundabout at that speed. Holy shit.
Southbound Black Avenue.
Oh, he's
As
got
the
a
pursuit
doggo
escalated
with
to
him.
speeds of 100 miles per hour, the officer noticed the truck's tailgate open, where an ice fishing sled full of gear was yeeted onto the roadway.
Ah, yeeted. Yeeted. Fucking Code Blue Cam guy just said yeeted.
Eastbound Tower Drive.
Eastbound Tower Drive.
We just lost ice fishing equipment at Tower Drive and 41st Avenue. Ice fishing equipment came out the back. It's all over the road if you want to have a unit come that way to clear the roadway.
Close your tailgate, dumbass.
2-8 County, I'll be out picking up pushing equipment.
We just lost more equipment in the curbs by Lower Avenue.
He's fucking just all of his shit's coming out the truck. He's just driving like a moron. All his shit's just fucking ejecting itself all over the place. Oh, I think this is another body cam of them picking it all up.
We'll be going westbound on North Shore Drive.
Yeah. This is... It keeps switching between them. Him driving.
Sorry, babe. Hold on, Tita. Sorry, babe.
Aww. He's talking to his doggy. His canine officer. Wet Roads 2, surprisingly that truck isn't sliding. Maybe it's got all seasons.
66, or correction, about 45 miles an hour now.
Nicholas soon turned down a road that the officer knew led to a dead end at a boat landing by the lake.
We are now turning southbound onto Indian Hills. I believe this is going to dead end into Lake Altoona.
Without hesitation, Nicholas proceeded to drive onto the frozen lake and turned off his headlights, causing the officer to terminate the pursuit.
That is not an ice road. That is not an ice road, my friend. And also, the ice roads have been closing earlier because of warm weather, so no bad idea.
274 County, I'm going to be discontinuing. He's driving onto Lake Altoona. He is on the lake.
10-4-274, discontinuing.
274 County, I'll remain at this landing if you want to notify Eau Claire to have units go to the other landing.
10-4-274.
Oh, the dog's like, I want to go get him! I want to go get him! The poor doggy.
You okay, Tita? Got a little water splashed around back there, didn't we? You did good. You did good. He's out doing donuts out.
Lower the drawbridge. Lower the drawbridge to release the projectiles. Bad truck. Poor puppers, yeah. She just wants to go bork bork on the idiot. That's what she wants to do. She wants to go nom nom the moron.
You did good.
Aww.
He's out doing donuts out in the middle now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I discontinued once he got on the lakes. I have no idea what the thickness is out here, but he's right there.
All three of them are going over there.
That's his headlights out there.
Idiot.
Good. She didn't like the ride.
The suspect vehicle's going to be landing on.
You want to pull another car just so he doesn't sneak there, and I'll lay spikes right here in case he decides.
Car up there.
Good job. Good idea, guys.
Yeah. Just put yours in like your back seat or something in case you need them later.
Hey, you okay back here?
429.
Stay. Any name or anything on any of that gear, did you notice?
I looked, there was already somebody there scavenging it on scene, and then there was some other lady that had his sled and stuff pulled off with the auger and stuff in it, so.
All of a sudden, tailgate dropped, and there goes his sled and all of his ice fishing gear, and then every corner it's beer cans.
I looked at a chair and stuff like that, and just
a chair,
off to the side.
A chair, beer cans, an auger.
Oh.
Where'd you try to stop originally?
Business 53 and 27th Ave. Then we went down North Crossing, up Black Ave.
I was right there, and I got down and I saw lights going westbound. I'm like,
I knew it all of a sudden. I'm like,
westbound.
I seen him turn on at Indian Creek, and I'm like, I got him. This is a dead end. It's going to go into Lake Altoona. And then I'm like, how much ice is he going to drive on Lake Altoona? All of a sudden, he just, I'm like, oh, God.
As assisting officers stationed themselves on the other side of the lake, they observed the truck was stuck in the snow, and Nicholas was seen fleeing from it.
Is that him right there? Is that him right there, Ed?
His truck is stuck. What a fucking moron. Oh my god, what an
I
idiot.
got a rifle. Let's get to an area of cover here. Let's get over here or something. Is that the truck? Yes. 412 County. We have a visual on the truck. We believe the subject is walking on the ice to the northeast on foot.
Do you want to just switch with me just in case this guy comes? I don't want him ramming my car with the dog in it if he decides to be a...
Yeah.
If you just want to pull your squad where mine is.
See him? No, he's right here. Yep. Hold on, Ed. Does County's K9, does Altoona, or Hatley have a K9? We have no K9s, no. He's right ahead of us here.
Where is
he at right now?
He killed his life. He's over on the other side of the lake by the other landing.
Oh, okay, and there's an Altoona squad set up there because I saw headlights, so...
Do you want me to clear the car? Yes. Yeah. Where is he? Oh, I see
Okay, this is the other body cam.
Yeah, so
I
I'm just
get
having
it.
you pull in. Just I don't want him, if he decides to come this way and ram a car and start hitting the spikes, I don't want the dog taking a ride. Yeah, my dog doesn't do apprehension, so...
When we get close to the light.
Oh, the dog doesn't do apprehension. Oh, okay. So she's probably just a drug dog.
Huh? Oh, my gun light is flashlight.
I've got my canine here, but she's not apprehension. She'll just chase him down and look for a toy.
It did get dumber. Amazing. Yep.
Suspect, stay down! Get down or you may release the canine! Get down.
Oh, they have a canine that'll do apprehension.
Up to him now. Stop running! Police! You want to go lethal? I'll take the pepper wall and get him. I can get him. Stop where you're gonna get.
Let the dog go!
Pepper ball! Get on the ground right now! He's walking away, not following commands. Jesus. Put your hands up! Or you're gonna get hit with pepper ball.
Get down on your knees.
Keep your hands up!
4-7, have got a gunpoint.
Can I get him at gunpoint?
You keep gun. Keep lethal out.
Oh,
Stay
get
right
lethal
there.
out.
You keep gun. Keep lethal out.
Yeah, he said get lethal out. Interesting.
Stay right there.
Don't move.
Hold, we got people behind us. Stay right there.
All right, let's just wait. Just wait. Hold.
We're waiting.
Let's catch up.
I'm not gonna hurt you guys.
All right.
We got hands. Keep your hands in the air. Max, you go hands. Max, holster, go hands.
Yeah, back.
Yep. We're just turning the flashlight off. Okay. Arms out to your side like an airplane. On your face. On your face. Do not look at us.
I love you, hear me? I love you.
Are you hurt?
I love you. Oh my god, he's so drunk that he's at the I love you stage. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. He's drunk enough to be at the I love you phase.
4-7 County, 1 in custody.
While taking him into custody, they noticed he had a strong odor of intoxicants coming from him. Additionally, they discovered an open 30-pack of Busch Light beer in his truck, along with a can in his pocket.
A fucking dumb
Turn over to me.
You grab my phone.
Yeah, I will.
That was a hike.
Dude, I wiped out on the ice back there. What's your name?
Nick, I'm a felon.
Nate?
No, Nick.
Nick?
That's
All right.
me.
Straighten this leg. I'm going to bring you to your knee, and then we're going to stand up, okay?
I'm not gonna hurt you guys.
I appreciate that, dude.
Can I at least get a cigarette? You guys?
Can I at least get a cigarette? No.
Hey, just stop turning. Moving. Let's search him right now. Got anything on you that's going to stick me, poke me, hurt me?
If anything, I got maybe a little bit of THC.
No weapons?
No.
Okay.
No. I ain't no dangerous person. I ain't no.
Anybody else in the car with you?
No.
I ain't no dangerous person. I just tried to drive like a moron with my truck at high speeds on the lake. I love you human too with my handcuffs, right? Exactly.
No. No. Okay. Hold this phone. We'll go clear the car.
You away with him?
Yeah.
Well,
We're good.
We'll walk him back towards the Altoona boat landing.
Can I at least have a cigarette, please?
No.
You got one on you?
No.
Yeah, I have one
No.
on me.
Maybe when we get back to the boat landing.
Let's all catch our breath. You've been decent with us. Appreciate that. But I said, I appreciate
Like I
you
said,
stopping.
if anything, I got THC on me. That's it.
Not what we're
A
worried
little
about right
pen,
now.
yeah.
No, I appreciate you not giving us a hard time fighting with us. So
Hang in the bibs. Hang in the
Like I
sweatshirt
said,
pocket.
if anything, I got a fucking pen. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, just where is it though?
Is there anything in the truck we need to know about?
I have no clue. No.
Okay.
No, literally, man.
Okay. That was it. Just asking. I'm not. We don't know who we deal with.
I know.
Yep.
I get it.
Said I really appreciate you being honest and decent with us. Give me a workout, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. It says I'm a felon, all that. Oh, blah, blah. That's not me, though. I'm trying to fucking get my shit together. You guys will make you.
I'm trying to get my shit together.
I don't think you're a bad guy.
You're trying to get your shit to... Dude, you drove out onto a lake drunk. That's not getting your shit together.
I judge you more for drinking Busch and not Miller.
Yeah, I like Coors. I don't even know why, honestly, that there's a bush in there. I'd rather drink Coors. Fuck.
Holy, got a million pockets on this jacket, man.
Can I at least
We'll
call
be
my
walking
girl
back
back
shortly.
I just want to talk to her one more time. So I'm going to prison. I'm going.
Not anything in the hat, right?
No. No, take it off. I don't give a f. No, there's nothing. I'm just trying to go hang out with my brother for his birthday.
You want to just take him, you want to pick him up, transport him, and just take him to jail and do fields in the Sally Port at the jail? He's going for the pursuit.
Yeah, go ahead. Like I said, the only thing you're going to find on me is some weed. Ooh.
I'm just making sure you don't fall on the ice here, right? Since you're handcuffed, I want you to fall on your face and not be able to stop yourself.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Went to work today, came home, went to go celebrate my brother's birthday. Now here we are. Can I have a smoke?
We'll get over there. We'll get you
Just
one.
get off the ice. Yep. You're a ballsy guy for driving a truck on the ice. Kind of been warm out, man.
Stupid guy, not ballsy.
I was wondering if I should go after you.
You guys got out here quick. I'll tell you that.
Well, thanks for the hustle out there, guys.
Well, that's a first. I mean, it was a valid effort by him, but that's not a great decision.
Well, had we not known right away when you got to the lake, had that not have been put out, he would have gotten off the other side if he knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah.
Because that was a total working thing to get out to the back over there.
So I got down here and I'm like, call Eau Claire. And then I'm like, I'm pretty sure Bell's on in Altoona. So I called Ed and I said, hey, he's like, I'm in a 1080 right now. I said, I am in the 1080. He said, get over to the other landing.
Can I talk to my girl?
That's funny. I'm in a 1080. Yes, I know. I'm there too.
We'll work on a phone call later.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Right now we got some other stuff we got to take care of, right?
Whoa.
Let's take it nice and slow, all right?
Yeah,
we don't need to.
I ain't trying to do it.
I know it's
You know what I
it's
mean?
slick. I almost fell too coming out here. So let's just.
Are you okay if we drive the car back to the shore here?
Is it going to get towed?
Yeah, one or the other.
Well, I'd rather have it out here. I can have someone come pick it up.
All right.
Out here. I'm not, like I said, I don't got nothing against you. I'm not going to hurt you guys. Stuff.
No, we appreciate that. We just don't know that ahead of time because some people do,
I
you know.
understand. I know how it goes.
That means a lot to me when you're caught and you're being respectful, so I appreciate that.
Exactly.
I haven't checked your record or anything yet. Do you have a warrant?
No, I got no warrant because I'm on probation.
I gotcha.
At least he's
I'm not
honest.
going nowhere.
Like, he's
I'll put my hands right
stupid.
here.
He's an idiot, but he's honest.
Do whatever you need to.
He's an honest idiot.
Here you go. Open your mouth. Well, I'm trying my best here, man.
Cold.
Damn
The
lake,
weather's
lucky
cold.
it's night
you
because
go.
it's cooler. Yeah.
Gonna call your girl or what?
Yeah. Baby, mama
True.
know what's going on at least.
He's very
Is that who
lucky.
you're talking to out on the lake?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
They're
like she's
scared.
still on the phone.
Hey, what's up, baby? The truck's out on the lake. You can grab the cigarette. It's stuck to my lips, sorry. No, it's on. It's only a 2-wheel drive, so it's stuck on the lake. It's right now. That's the only reason why I stopped. Well, the truck's gonna get towed. No, it's on the lake. You're not gonna get it off there. It doesn't matter. I don't give a f about that truck. I'm going to prison right now, so goodbye.
There goes the phone. You done with the call?
No.
Well,
I mean, kind of, but.
good enough. Can your girlfriend come get it?
Yeah, she can come get it tomorrow.
Your truck's stuck out on the lake, so we're leaving. His girlfriend's gonna come get it.
I love you, baby. See you later. All right, I love you. No reason.
Tell her it's gonna be on the lake.
My truck will be on the lake. Don't cry. We'll figure it out, I guess.
So Nicholas, Nichol.
Don't cry. We'll figure it out, I guess.
So
Yeah, it's stuck. We're leaving it.
it's stuck out there.
Yep.
So just confirm you're not hurt or anything like that. Don't need an ambulance. Okay.
Use some water.
Don't cry.
Yeah, if I
I'm
had one, I'd
going to
give you
prison,
one.
but don't cry.
So,
Yeah,
Mr.
okay.
Ricky, I'm Officer Siskowski with Lake Hallie Police Department. I'm going to put you in the transport belt. We're going to go down to the Chippewa County Jail. Sound good?
Chippewa, yeah. Since that's kind of where it originated at, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you been decent with everybody?
Yeah. I'm not f***ing comprehensive. I'm not gonna f***ing hurt nobody. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not comprehensive? No, you're not. You really aren't comprehensive at all.
happen when we get you out of the handcuffs. We're going to get this jacket off. You'll be fine for a little bit until I get you in the car. Okay.
I did the best I could.
Let's do whatever you need to do. Let's go. Search me out. Like I said, I'm not going to be comprehensive. I'm not going to.
Rather putting this on you, it's going to be up front, all right?
I'm not going to be comprehensive. I think you're using the wrong word,
Every
honey.
corner with the beer cans coming.
Well, when I saw you lost fishing equipment, I'm like, he's going to the lake. So we walked in.
Yeah, well, we got on Black Avenue
well,
when the tailgate went down.
Right now
And all of a sudden the sled comes out with the auger.
I'm not going to be.
Yeah, well, it'd be kind of stupid to right now with all the cops here.
I get that. I know. I'm just saying, I'm sick of this shit with my fucking.
When I got up there,
I'm sick of this shit. Well, don't drive on the lake drunk, dude.
If people are free equipment, I'm sure somebody's got
It's not hard.
It'll be much more comfortable if you keep your arms like that.
You know, you've
These
been telling me
felons
you want to
act
get
like
out on
this
the
shit
ice this
just
year.
happens to them.
And I know they searched.
And I said, hey, I'll get you out on the ice this year.
Like,
And
I
was
swear to
gonna say whether
God.
It was with a rod or not.
Some days I feel like
This
my
wasn't-
dad's.
Like these people, honestly, it's like these felons think that life just happens to
5,000
them.
miles away, and some other days are like today.
So, backseat of my squad car has been searched prior to anybody being in there. It will be searched after you're done in there.
I got
okay?
nothing.
Well, I'm just telling you that if something does pop up while we're at the jail and stuff, so.
I know how it goes.
We'll get over there. We'll get in my car. See who don't want the red light on. Thank you.
Put your arms right up through there.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Door slam.
You at least play some bangers,
What do you want?
some country, 95.1 or 106.7.
There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
He was then transported
See,
to the
they
county
can be
jail
nice
where he
if they're-
refused
if
all
the
tests.
suspects are
Upon
nice.
reviewing his records, it was also discovered he was on probation and had 2 prior OWI convictions.
Oh, you stupid bastard.
Nicholas was hit with felony counts of vehicle fleeing eluding an officer,
Dumb
which was a
ass.
repeater. Misdemeanor counts of OWI, 3rd offense, operating with prohibited alcohol content, and operating while revoked. He further earned himself over $2,400 in traffic citations. A search warrant was obtained for his blood, which later revealed he had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.18 at the time of the incident.
God damn.
Ultimately, he was given a cash bond set at $1,000.
That is... Again, stupid people doing stupid things, acting like life just happens to them. I'm so sick of this shit. Well, stop doing stupid shit. And then this shit won't be happening to you anymore. I don't know what to say.
Williams, hey you, button. Spittle, Quentin Williams, hey you, button.
Hello.
Spittle Buggies, yet another bad choice, confused face. Okay, Spittle Buggies, damn leg. Spittle Buggies, yet another bad choice, confused face. Okay, I'm going to be conversive, button.
Yeah, another bad choice. Yeah, I'm gonna be comprehensive. Yeah. Hey, Quentin, you popped in just in time for me to end. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I'll show everybody the fun that is Canadian politics. So that brings us to I can't believe I streamed for 3 hours tonight without being exhausted or anything. Yay me! So, tomorrow, don't forget 3 live streams to watch. Tomorrow's coffee stream, and then the budget announcement, and then the combat hour. So, lots to watch. And I have a Tom McDonald song to react to for a video. So I'll be putting that out as well. So I'll be busy tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope you enjoyed all the fun things that I had to show you. And be sure to join me tomorrow for question period. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the morning. Bye, everybody.